trying, ABC. There's no path no more though, mate. There is no path no more, mate. Path doesn't exist. It doesn't exist for me. No. No, mate, no. My path is gone. There's no fucking path anymore. They've taken my path, mate. They've taken that from me. They've taken my path, mate. I had a fucking path, and I followed my path, and I did everything legally and legitimately and properly. Where did that fucking get me, mate? Where did that get me? Where did it get me? It got me fucking nowhere. Nowhere. My path was taken from me, mate, through lies and fucking deception and bullshit stories with no proof, no fucking paperwork, no fucking nothing. And my path was taken from me, robbed of me, stripped of me. What fucking path? What path? I don't wake up in the morning with a path anymore, with a goal. My goal's taken from me. Every fucking time I turn around, it's taken from me with fake-ass fucking stories that didn't happen. Charges that don't exist. Accusations that don't exist, that never fucking happened. And I'm found guilty. I am found wanting. If the bitch could, mate, she would have hung me on the day. She would have hung me. You're guilty, Mr. Barker. You're guilty. You've got all of these things. What are you doing here? How dare you expect to see your daughter? How dare you? I don't have any of those things, miss. All right? I've never been done with anything like that. I've never been accused of anything like that. I've never been questioned, queried, or anything until now, until I get to your office. Then I'm queried on it, miss. There are no investigations. There are no questions. There are no orders. What are you talking about? You know, I'm starting to get a little bit aggro, miss. I really am. I've got to admit, I'm getting a little bit aggro. Do you have any proof of what you were saying? Do you have any paperwork for what you are saying? Because you're really accusing me of some serious matters. And you're the professional. You're the person that gets highly paid and has got all these pieces of paper on the wall. And you only believe a female? You only believe a woman because she comes in and says whatever to you? And she doesn't need any proof of whatever? And you automatically believe her. So no, mate, I feel fucking robbed. Every day I wake up for the next month, I'm going to feel robbed. Robbed. You know, they're all gearing me up for me to go to a court so that I can get absolutely fucking noosed. Noosed. You know, you can expect to never see your daughter again? Who in the fuck are these people, mate, thinking they are? My daughter never sees me again? For what? For what? I haven't been with this person for 8 years. I haven't seen my daughter in 5. And you're trying to tell me that I am this, and this? When I've done nothing but try and get my life together in order for when I do see my daughter, I have something for her to come back to. I stayed on my path, B. I fucking stayed, man. And what did it get me? You know, I do everything legally, mate. Fucking that person doesn't. They haven't obeyed a fucking thing. Nothing on that paperwork have they obeyed. But I'm the bad guy. I'm the abuser. I'm this, I'm that, I'm all of this. I slapped my daughter. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You think I'm going to stand under that? You think I'm going to go, yeah, oh yeah? Are you fucking crazy? I'm not going to stand under that. I'm not going to have someone talk to me that way and not stick up for myself. Because if you don't stick up for yourself, gentlemen, it's presumed as real. It's presumed as real. Don't you understand that? If you don't say something, it's presumed that everything is true. So I've got to wake up with that every day. I've got to wake up with that every day, bro. And I've got to go to bed with that every day. So no, I feel I've been completely fucking robbed. I mean, they're all telling me that I'll never see her again, and to be quiet and to move on, and like I can't do that, and they have no right taking that from me. They have no right to tell me that I need to do this and I need to move on and forget her, and she'll contact you when they're older and all of that. I'm not doing any of that. I have no choice, but I'm not going to do it happily. I'm not going to, No, mate, I suffer every fucking day. Every day. Every day I've got to relive this fucking stuff for the next month. For the next month until the big boss person tells me, that you should never see your daughter again, and you are this and you are that, and you're an abuser, and you all of this stuff. That's the boss. You have to wait for the boss. But as far as all of these little Indians are concerned, that's the end of you. That's the end of you. You're done. Okay? You'll never see your daughter again. Okay? And they're going to get sole custody, and they're going to be going off everywhere because, Chinese culture is so much more important than Australian culture. Okay? They need to go overseas. They need to, don't worry about the Australian culture where you live, right? Don't worry about my relatives. Don't worry about how I was raised or how my family is. Don't even meet my family, right? Don't meet your auntie. Don't meet your uncles. Don't meet my brothers and sisters. Don't meet your cousins. Don't meet anybody that's in Australia. You should never see your daughter again. So that goes for all of my family too. All of she has sisters. Echo has sisters. Sisters. Are you trying to tell me that they should never see my fucking daughter? They should never see their sister again? No, they should never meet their aunties. She should never have experiences with her cousins, which are all the same age. Like, it's horrible, guys. Like, that I've gone this far. And at the end of the day, it's taken from you through just absolute stories that didn't... I've never laid a hand on any child. So to accuse me of slapping my daughter until she's wobbly in the legs, are you fucking insane? You're talking about a 5-year-old little girl, a tiny little fucking girl, and you're trying to tell me that's what I did? I don't stand under those words. I will not. To me, they're completely hurtful, and I'm not standing under them, X. That's what you told them, right? You fucking lie. You just lie and lie and lie. That's all you do. The same as when I was with you. You were no different. Just deceptive. Very deceptive. Everything you say, just isn't the truth. Everything you fucking say. I had to sit back and think about it and think, nah, hang on a minute. That just doesn't add up. All of this takes blind trust. I've just got to trust you, right? So I trusted you, and what happened? What happened? 2 or 3 months later, I'm asking you where my paper is. Where did my paper go? I had a bank. Where the fuck is my paper? Oh, we invested it over there, and it's okay then. We had great sales, yeah? We did really well with it, yeah? Where's the money? Where does the money go after you fucking sell it? Oh, that goes into my personal private bank account in China. You are fucking siphoning fucking money from here to your fucking personal bank account. You're as deceptive as they come. You're just deception 101. But I woke up to you. I woke up to you early. Okay? And that's why you got rid of me. That's why. That's why you put me into the spare room. That's why you were fucking the way you were the entire time I was with you. Because I woke up to you. And I said, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not sending all of my money to your personal fucking bank account in China. You are even to the person you're supposed to be with. So no, love. I think what you've done is quite horrible. And all in the name of what? Vengeance. Your plan. Because you see, over there, viewer, in China, the woman gets the full rights. The father never sees the child in China. Never, unless you're really wealthy, unless you're really rich, okay? But otherwise, no, you do not see your child, mate, in China. Once they break up with you, that's it, okay? That's what happens over there. So no. It's just fucking, hello, Nitro. Nitro, how much have we been through, man? Have a think about it just for a second, okay? You don't have to chat to me, but just for a second, we've done everything proper, yeah? Everything legal, yeah? I haven't disobeyed I've done fucking nothing, mate. I know that I haven't, right? So it comes down to this one lady we all go and see, and she's recommended that I never see Echo again. That's the long and the short of it, mate. They had the meeting before I did, and when I walked in there, I was accused of just non-stop accusations. There were no questions about me and my daughter at all. It was just answering to accusations. Oh, Mr. Barker, you harm your daughter, you abuse your daughter, you've got a current DV order, you've got a DV investigation, you've got a DV charges pending, and you've got a current AVO. Nitro, I don't have any of that. I've never done any of that. I sat there fucking dumbfounded, and I didn't know. I didn't expect that. I didn't go to this meeting to be just fucking hammered and hammered and hammered. I didn't know what this woman has been told before I've walked in. And this woman, mate, I'm a dead man walking. I am a dead man walking to this woman. I mean, she threatened to call the police on me. Okay? Have you got any pictures on your phone of your daughter? I said, of course I do. What do you mean? And she said, well, if you've got any pictures, I'm calling the police and I'll have you arrested. That's against your order. And I said to her, I don't have any orders. How many times do I have to tell you that? And that's what you're going to do? I pulled out my phone, Nitro, and said, there you go. There's my pictures of my daughter. Now call the police. Call them. That's what my meeting was. That's what my 45 minutes was like. It was a non-stop accusation, me denying it and asking for proof, and then getting threatened with the police with arrest over fucking, because I've got an order. And I can't wait for the fucking cops to turn up, Nitro. I'm fucking excited, mate, because I don't have any fucking orders, cunt. I don't fucking have anything. But I'm going to get a police report. I'll get a police report that you were called here because I've got an order that she accused me of. And I told the lady that. I said, go right ahead, because I'll get a police report. Okay? Because nobody believes me, you see. If you read her report, it's so biased. It's so biased, mate. It's just, I'm a cunt. I'm a cunt. I'm a cunt, Nitro. I'm the worst father in the world. I'm the most abusive, nasty. I've harmed her. I whipped her. I whipped her, Nitro. I, I whipped my daughter. That's what I was accused of until she was wobbly in the legs. That's what she told them. Yeah. When my daughter was asked, why don't you want to see your father? My daughter said, oh, because he took a dress from me, and I'm very upset that he took the dress. That's what my daughter said. They don't, there's no mention of me whipping my daughter from my daughter. There's no mention of my daughter being afraid of me in that way, and the reports don't match up. I've got an aiding and caring report. The last time I seen my daughter breed, I've got an actual report for that. 4 pages long. Describes everything. And my poor little daughter was begging her fucking mum. Dad said he was sorry. Can he come home? She was begging fucking her mother. You know, I had to promise my daughter, man, on that day that this is not the last time you see Dad. I've got the lady's help, and she's going to help me, and we're going to organise to see you. Just please trust Dad that I'm. And the lady had to say the same thing to her. I feel like I really let her down, man. Like I've let Echo down. There's nothing I can do, Nitro, now. There's nothing I can do, man. Apparently I'm a dead man walking. Apparently that's it for me. Apparently, you'll never see your daughter again. That's what I'm being told. So after everything we've been through, and doing it all legitimately and properly and legally, and obeying everything, and doing everything we can to see our daughter, it's taken from you that easily. It's taken from you that quickly and that easily, just through a psychiatric report. And this lady never asked me a single question about me and my daughter. Nothing. She was just accusing me. She just spent the 40 minutes. And then I'd try and move on in the convo. Like, I'd answer her things, and I'd say, I don't have any of that. I've never been, da. And then she'd ask another question, like a simple question, I forget what they were. But she'd only ask one, and then she would go back to, well, what about these accusations, Mr. Barker? They are quite serious. I am taking them very serious. I don't have them, ma'am. Why do you keep going back to them all the time? I don't have any of them. It got to a point for me where I said, I got the shits and said, have you got any proof? Have you got any paperwork for what you're saying? Police reports, orders, court's orders, anything? Because I don't have any paperwork. I don't have what you're accusing me of. Okay? Yeah, it's painful, man. It's painful, and I share it with you guys. I had a good path, man, and I tried showing you boys, that I tried showing men that you stay on the path and you do the right thing, and you do it all legally, and even if you live like shit, you got no fucking money, you're broke as fuck, your lawyer's fucking sweet, the court's sweet, that's done, that's paid for, but you're fucking broke. And I've told you guys over and over, man, don't ever give up. Fucking keep on the path and do what you need to do to in order to be, well, what did the court say to me on the first day, the very first day? The court lady said to me, I can see how much you love your daughter, but I need you to prove to the court how much you love your daughter. So I need you to go and do these things for me and then come back and prove to me. So we did all of that. We did exactly what we were asked to do. But they are looking for any reason at all for you not to see your child. You must understand that, gentlemen. They're not looking for reasons for you to see your child. They're looking for reasons for you to be denied. That's what they're looking for. They're scratching for anything they can. You know, that's why it was so important that I had no charges, that I don't get into any trouble, that I don't do anything that will get me into trouble. That's why it was so important. Because then she could walk into the court and say, I've got real charges. Look what he did. Actual paperwork. But at the current time, they just walk in and say whatever the fuck they want and accuse you of whatever the fuck they want. They can say whatever they want and there is no accountability. There is no proof needed. There is no paperwork needed. You can just be guilty. Guilty, bro. No trial. No, mate, if that woman at that fucking that I spoke to, if she could, she would have hung me. Oh, mate, she hated me. Like this woman fucking was dead set thinking that all of these things are real. I don't blame her. I'm not mad at her because if they were real, I understand. But it's like when you walk in the door, it's like all men are guilty. All men. And I'm fucking sick of these women saying, oh, it's not all women, it's not all women, we're all, some of us are really, really good. No, it's all women. It's all women. Okay? There is no more percentages anymore. You can stick your fucking percentages in your fucking ass. Because it's all men, right, women? It's all men. All men are this. All men are that. All men are abusers. All men are this. There is no percentage when it comes into a woman's brain. All men are guilty. Guilty, bro. As soon as you walk in that office, you are guilty. The woman didn't like my rings. She didn't like the way I was dressed. She didn't like my rings. I got chastised for the way I was dressed and the way that I wore rings. The rings is what your client bought me. She bought me these rings. She bought me these necklaces. These are like my trophies. My trophies of telling me how bad of a husband I was and how horrible of a man I was to her. Because, you know, all women go out and buy presents and gifts like this for men that abuse them, right? Because there's just such a bad, bad man. So I go out and get a ring made for him. Go out and buy him a couple of $1,000 necklace made out of amber. You know, go and get Sons of Anarchy rings made. The only ones fucking that were made in pure silver. Mine are pure silver, 3 ounces solid. You know, they had to be handmade. Yeah, because I'm a cunt. Because I'm a really bad guy. You know, I was a terrible, terrible person to you. Horrible, horrible man. It's just, you know, they're pissed off because they had to give me some kind of paper. They gave me pittance on the fucking house. Pittance, mate. And they're pissed off about it. That wasn't part of the plan. The plan was to get it smooth. Get it freely. Get it smooth. Okay? They don't have to come up with anything, okay? And then they can live their fucking rich life that they want. It's not fair, guys. This system that we have. The system, it's very one-sided, lopped one-sided. That's the truth. It really is. I got to awake with it every day for the next month. For the next month, until I am told officially, with their official piece of paper, telling me that I should never see my daughter again. you know. And if I ever do, then, you know, it must be under supervised contact. You know, this person never fills out paperwork. She is never going to agree to any contact centre, any supervised this or that, because the last time she had supervised contact centre, I got an aiding and caring report, and that didn't sit very well. It doesn't feed the storyline. It doesn't feed that I'm a bad, abusing person. It doesn't feed that my daughter's afraid of me and doesn't want to see me anymore. That's not what the aiding and caring says. And that supersedes time with every other report. That supersedes it, man. That's 5 years old, that report. It supersedes all of their shit that they've been accusing me of now. And they've got to find something on you, boys. They've got to find something on you. They've got to get fucking crust. All right? That's why I've been playing it the way I have. You know, being legit. I told you she'd go in there and just accuse. I've been telling you that over and over and over. That's just what they do. They accuse, make up stories, accuse some more. Wait for some of the shit to stick to the wall. Something's bound to stick. If not, it'll occupy the time. It'll occupy what their thoughts, you know, and then I'll throw some more shit at the fucking wall. I mean, I read shit yesterday that I've never heard of in 4 years. In 4 years. You're trying to tell me that you withheld me beating my child until she's wobbly in the legs right until the 4th year. Right until the final hearing. That's when you pull that baby out. That's when the big birther out. You know, he's an abuser. He did this. Look what he did. It doesn't get mentioned in 4 years. In 4 years of court, you'd think it'd be the first thing that gets mentioned, you know? You know what I mean? But it's not. It's not. It's pulled out of your fucking ass. Yeah, it's pulled out of your ass. It's just, I can walk in and try and find, just think of something. Just think of something, okay? Just anything. The other one was something I yelled or something, you know? Just normal marriage shit, dude. You know, normal marriage stuff, normal things that couples go through. But they're such a queen that, you know, your tone can offend them, your tone of voice. So she wants you charged just on tone of voice alone. Forget about what you've said. It's just how you said it, you know. You've upset me, you're aggressive, you're masculine, you know. I don't like that, you know. Yeah, just, I told you that, man. I told you, man. All they've got is accusations and stories, and you read them and you're just gutted. You know, you go through all of this in order to get what you want. You lie your fucking ass off so because you want sole custody. You want sole custody, and you want to be able to leave the country whenever you want because your culture is just so important. You know, it's so important to you and my daughter. What about the Australian culture? What about the place that you live? What about her sisters? What about her cousins? What about her uncles and aunties? What about that? Do they matter? Do we matter at all? Does my family matter at all? You know, she has aunties, uncles, she has cousins, she has sisters. Echo has 2 sisters. Whether you want to agree with it or not, they are still her sister. And you're trying to tell me that all of us should never see Echo again. Because because I'm so bad. I'm such a bad person. No, I haven't eaten anything. I haven't eaten anything, mate. I was going to walk down and see if there's any yellow tickets.
I've got very little paper, mate, until Wednesday. I've got fucking jack. So I'm just trying to occupy myself a little bit. Um,
I've got half a loaf of bread. I haven't sold any masks. No masks at all. I've got so many watches on my eBay for my masks, but no punters. None. None at all. So I can't even get myself out of it. I can't even pull myself out of it. My idea, my brilliant idea. I make great stock. I make great fucking masks. I got them all there, but they don't. No one's punting for them, mate. At this time, no one's doing anything, mate. Thank you, fan. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Right. I don't get anything from here for the whole month. It takes a month from the time that you give it till the time it's sent. It takes a month. It goes through the PayPal or eBay system. Sorry, or not eBay. Whatever this fucking super chat system is. But I really appreciate you, man. I'm Lord Dobby King on PayPal. lorddobbyking at gmail.com on PayPal, and that's instant. That's instant to my account. Yeah, guys, anything that would be helpful, that would be fantastic. lorddobbyking at gmail.com is my PayPal, and lorddob79 is my eBay. lorddob79 is my eBay. I mean, it's not like I haven't been trying. I have been trying and trying and trying, and I just don't, my artwork isn't cheap. I don't sell my masks for $5. And they're just, I'm sorry, man, I haven't sold any. I haven't sold any, man. I haven't sold a single mask, which really sucks. I've had no income until those other masks sold. So the last, it's been a bit of a tough. I've got plenty of raws, plenty of projects ready to go, but I don't want to go spending more money on hair and paints and materials when I can't seem to sell the masks that I've got on the counter. I've already got 2 ready to go, 2 just with hair. I need hair. I've already got 2 ready to go. They're just, I don't know, man, I'm not selling any masks. So that's got me down a bit. That has got me down. Because I thought my artwork would pull me out, would help me out kind of thing. I thought that would help me. But it hasn't. It hasn't. So that didn't eventuate. Can't say I didn't try, boys. Can't say that I don't try. Can't say that I don't think of avenues to try. You'll never win it, fan. You'll never win it. No, they'll never win it. I'm extremely lucky this lawyer is willing to help me. I am extremely lucky because any other lawyer will just walk away. They just walk away because it's the final hearing and it's the family report. It's the big one. It's the one that really they rely on, which means that everything that you've been through, all of your courses, all of your psychological reports that they make you do because you're crazy as a man, you're an abusive person and you need to go and get retrained. So they send you to men's behaviour courses, they send you to alcohol and drug, they send you to anger management, they put you through the fucking ringer. They put you through the ringer. At least 12 months worth of courses. At least. And I did a course every week in order to pass it, mate. In order to get fucking through it. I did that many courses. That's like their little box, mate. Their little ticking of the box, a little game for you to play. Because that's all it is. Because if everything can be overridden and taken from you through one family report writer, then everything that you've done before that becomes valueless. Valueless.
Why would you have to go through any of that I had to go through when you could just go straight to the family report writer? You know what I mean? Because everything you've been through, she doesn't give a fuck. She hasn't read anything. She doesn't care. The only thing she cares about is what the woman has said to her. The woman has said to her, bro, you're already fucked. Because these women know how to play the system. You know, they walk into the meeting and they say, oh, no, he's an abuser. He hit me. He did this. He yelled and screamed at Echo and beat her until her legs were wobbly. You know, he's got a DV order. He's got a current investigation. He's got charges. He's got a current AVO. Oh, you're the worst cunt in the world. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And then this person just agrees with everything. You know, you're a cunt. You're a fucking dog. And gets you in there and just nails you to the floor. And irregardless whether you look at her and go, I don't have that, so therefore I'm lying. You don't believe what I'm saying, right? When I said to you, I don't have those orders. I've never been questioned that way. I don't have anything like that at all. You don't believe me. But you'll believe a woman. You'll believe a woman who is standing there telling you what I've done wrong. But you won't believe the man when he says, I don't have any of that. Do you have any paperwork? Do you have any proof? Anything. You know, and they don't like that. They don't like, because I'm not standing there or sitting there in the office and copying it. I am not going to be told that I beat my daughter until she was wobbly in the legs, and that I did this and I abused her, and that I committed DV against the ex. DV. I said to the woman, "Do you realise she's a karate lady? Like she knows karate? This woman can karate chop you into next week. If she kicks you, you are fucking on the ground. Okay? She doesn't have to fear me. I've got to fear her. She's the what are you talking about? I've never laid a hand on the person ever. But that person has kicked me quite a few times. Elbowed me in the ribs. I'm just walking along the road. I got elbowed into the stomach. You know? So no. It just doesn't make fucking thing, mate. You know? Tracy Lee, how are you, man? I hope you're good, man. It's been a long time there. Telling lies should have legal actions taken. I grew up in childcare homes, and due to the fucks telling lies, fucking hell, mate. Basically, that's what happened to me. I got called into the office, mate, thinking that I went in there to talk about my daughter and the relationship that I had with my daughter. I had my aiding and caring report with me because that was the last time I'd seen my daughter, and I just got hammered. I got absolutely hammered the minute that I've walked in from my ex telling them a whole bunch of lies, a whole stuff that just didn't happen. And, you know, I've got orders and I've got this and I've got investigations, and no wonder the person hated me. No wonder the person absolutely fucking hated me when I walked in the room. She didn't even like the way I was dressed. And I thought I looked all right. I had jeans and a t-shirt on and my necklace on and my rings on. I've waited 5 months to see this person. 5 months. 5 months of my fucking life, I sat there waiting to meet this person. You know, I was actually excited. You know, I could finally talk about my daughter. No, I didn't get to talk about Echo. I didn't get to talk about my daughter. You know, I just got hammered. I got hammered and accused and accused and accused. And you gentlemen need to realise what the fuck is, what will happen to you. What will happen to you in family law court. What these people will do to you. You know, and you'll sit there, and if you're quiet, if you don't say anything, like they're hitting you with this stuff, if you're quiet, that means it's real. If you're quiet, that means you're agreeing to what they're saying. You're agreeing to it. I'm not agreeing to fucking any of that shit. I'm fucking on it, bros. I'm fucking standing up like a man for my fucking child, mate. You know, I have no orders. I have no investigations. I know nothing about what you are talking about. And you are accusing me of some very serious things. And I've never laid a hand on anybody. I have no assault charges in my history. You know, like I swear to God, it's like they're looking for any reason for you not to see your child. And even when you have gone through their whole fucking Olympic Games of fucking courses and psychological reports and everything else they make you do, they're still looking for anything they can, mate, to jump on. Anything to look at you and go, no, you're never to see your daughter again. You're never to see your daughter again. That's what this fucking total professional, wrote down on her paper. You should never see your daughter again. Even junkies, mate, fucking see their children. Even meth heads see their children. Even these fucking retards that are on TikTok live stream see their children, mate. They all see their children, mate. But lorddobby? Oh no, you're never to see your daughter again. So no, I gotta wake with that every day. I've gotta fucking live with that shit every day. Okay? And it's not fun. It's not fun because I keep going through with my head with it, I keep going through my head, I love my kid. I love my little daughter. I love all my kids. I said to the lady, would an affidavit help? Affidavits from my family, would that help? Like I could get an affidavit from my daughters to say that I'm a good dad, or I don't know, that like I've been an asshole to them or, never abused them or whatever. Would that help? No, nothing overrides the family report. Nothing. Nothing overrides it, okay? So the court will rely on this one report. One report, they'll rely on that. They don't rely on anything that you've done to prove yourself. They don't rely on any of the psychological reports saying, yes, he's a good dad and he's fine around his daughter. They don't rely on that. They rely on the one report that says, hey, this is what it says. This is what you are. Okay? I find it really suspicious. Suspicious, man. I find it suspicious that they rely on that one. They're looking for anything to grab hold of. Anything to say to themselves, yeah, that's validated. You should never see your daughter again. Imagine that. Imagine someone looks at you and says, you should never see your children again. Like ever. They should have no contact with you. Because you're such a bad person, we're scouring your past. We're looking at your police records. We're not happy with them, rah. Because I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't know what the fuck that you're on about, but I sure as hell haven't been a fucking criminal like bad guy, right? I'm just a normal fucking Joe Smo, mate. I've done some mistakes or whatever fucking 20 years ago. But they're looking for anything that they can fucking grab hold of. Anything at all that's chunky. They've got to have something that they can fall back on and validate that you never see your children again. And I said to the lady, that you think though that doing that, well, I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't anything, my police record's pretty public anyway. But yeah, there's no reason in there for you not to see your child. Like fucking none. But they're looking for something to justify it. Justify you never seeing your children again. They're looking for any reason they can, gentlemen, to take your children from you. Anything at all.
Like the whole time we were along here, man, we couldn't fuck up at all. We had to obey everything, mate. We had to obey everything. We've never lied. We've never created storylines and fake fucking shit. So, oh, hi Tracy Lee, I hope you're well, hope you're happy. Stay happy, healthy and well, gentlemen. I hope that you stay on your path, whatever that is. No, not a, no, this is just their professional, mate. That's just their professional, their, you know, of course they're so highly educated more than you are. I am just gutted. You know, this woman had the gall during the meeting to tell me, I'm going to recommend that you never see your daughter again. What would you say to that? And I said, well, why would you do that? What father, what child shouldn't see their father for whatever? I've done nothing wrong that's that serious that I should never see my daughter again. Why would you ask me that? And you know what instantly come into my mind? I'll bet you fucking bitch you never asked her that. I'll bet you fucking only kept that for me, right? Because I'm such a cunt, right? You've sat there in your professional fucking mode, in your professional fucking bits of paper on the wall. You have sat there and accused an innocent man. You have sat there and accused him of shit that he hasn't done. And you've accused him of stuff that you're fucking, even when he denies it, you tell him he's a liar. You're lying to me, Mr. Barker. You are guilty. And you're the professional, and you have no proof of anything. No paperwork. And you know why? Because it didn't fucking happen. That's why you don't have any paperwork. Because it didn't happen. But you found the man guilty. You found him guilty. And you decided that he should never see his daughter again. Amazing, man. Amazing, dude. Get shot for a goose, you get shot for a gander, mate. It's all the fucking same. You get shot for a goose, mate, you get shot for a gander. Okay? It's the same thing. You're still going to get shot. Whether you fucking keep your mouth closed or open it, you're still fucked. You're still fucked, bro. You get shot by the goose, you get shot by the gander, it's the same fucking thing. You're still shot. So they want you to be quiet. They want you to say nothing, talk about it. Don't say anything about anything, You're guilty, that's it. They want to try and take my channel from me. They want to try and close me down. They want full restrictions on my channel, That's what they want. They want to be able to judge you, to fucking put you into the nick, right? To absolutely fucking annihilate you, and then they want total control over you. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to mention it. You're not allowed to tell anybody about it. We're allowed to absolutely fuck you in the ass through fucking lies and deception. We just don't want anyone else knowing about it. Okay? Because that's the fucking system that we live under. When you think I'm the only one, you dumb cunts, I am part of thousands. There are thousands of me. There are thousands of fucking men out there, mate, that don't see their fucking children. Thousands of us. Okay? I'm not the only one. Okay? You think I'm the only one that's been lied on in court? This shit's been going on for fucking ages, decades. They just walk in and accuse you of fucking bullshit. And they get away with it. They get away with it. They don't get asked a question. They don't get asked for proof. Thing that I would do. I mean, fuck. You got someone comes into your office, right? And they start accusing somebody else of something, right? I would be the first one to say, mate, well, what proof have you got? Where's your police records? Police charge?
Have you got a charge sheet? Have you got an interview sheet where you went along and interviewed? You know, have you? Okay, he's got an order, has he? He's got a DV order, has he? Where's the order? Have you got a copy of the order? Have you got a copy of it? I mean, it would be good. You know, you just said he's got DV charges and DV investigation. How do you know he has charges? How do you know that he's got an investigation? How do you know any of that? You know, you say he's got a DV, he's got a current AVO. Have you got a copy of the AVO? Oh, yes, I do, actually. I've got an AVO. Here it is. And she pulls out an AVO. Okay, and then they go, oh, look, you've got an AVO. Look at this. You look at this, Mr. Barker. Look at this AVO. So all you got to do is unfold the paper. You unfold the paper. You go to the first paragraph, and there's a date. It's quite fucking clear right there. And let's read the date to me. It's fucking 5 years old, mate. This shit's 5 years old. Fucking 5 years old, bro. It's not in current. It's not a current fucking paper. So you've just tried to install this into the current court system, and it's an unvalidated order from 5 years ago. And you are trying to bring it into the court as real, as current. Yeah? And nobody gets questioned about it. Nobody gets asked a question. Why did you put this into the court system? Why did you try and pass this off as a current AVO? The deception, ladies and gentlemen, the deception and lies, okay? Because you're not meant to look at the date, because it's come from El Queen fucking Princess. You know, you just need to believe. You need to trust them, okay? It's a current AVO. Don't look at the date. Don't look at the date. The date doesn't exist, okay? They produce fake bullshit, boys. They produce fake fucking documents in court in order to get you stitched up, okay? And I call it a stitch up. I really do. I call it a stitch up. I call it a rip off. Like, I feel ripped off as a dad, as a person that obeyed the law and done everything legally, legitimately, properly, okay? I feel stitched up, you know? Anyway, lorddobbyking@gmail.com is my PayPal. Help the old bloke out if you can. I've got to fucking try and survive until Wednesday. All right? It's a tough... I haven't sold any fucking masks. So my life isn't fucking too good right now. You know? I felt really good during the week. My daughter needed a passport. Finally, I'm able to do something for my daughter as a dad. I can finally, mate. My kids are too independent. My daughters are too independent. But she needed some paperwork from me. Oh, fuck, I was so excited, man. I was so excited. I could finally fucking do something for my daughter. You know what I mean? Oh, geez, I was so excited, boys. I had to go and fucking get hold of the birth deaths of marriages in New South Wales and get a birth certificate because I'm the dad. I'm the dad, and I can do that. I'm the dad, you know? So I felt so excited, and so I felt so fucking thankful that I was able to actually do something for my daughter. You know, and that's her sister. You know, like my daughter calls me, what, you don't think she doesn't ask me about Echo? You don't think she doesn't ask me, how's the case going? You know, do you think you'll ever see Echo? You know, what's happening? You know, do you think that, you know, like, what do these fucking professionals think, mate? You know, like, Echo has my entire side of my family. What about my sisters? You know, she's got aunties, uncles, she's got I've got nieces, and so what's that, her cousins?
One that he would marry.
Yeah. She's got cousins to fucking see and visit. You know, she's got, I've got my sisters that she can get on the phone and talk to. She can have a relationship with. I've got daughters. She has sisters. You know, you're trying to tell me that my daughter, Echo, should never see her sisters? Should never meet her aunties and uncles? You know, you want to take my daughter overseas. You want to go and do this. You want to go and do that. But I can't even take my daughter to fucking Queensland to meet my family. I can't even do that. But it's acceptable that you want to fuck off to the other side of the world for I don't know for how long. Like, it's so one-sided. It is just one-sided. One-sided only. Yeah, one-sided only, boys. That's how I feel, man. And I feel gypped. I feel gypped, man. Like I did all that hard work, all that fucking hard yakka, staying on path, doing the right thing, And where did it get me, bro? It didn't get me shit. It didn't get me anything, mate. Didn't get my daughter anything. I haven't seen her, I haven't spoken to her. I've got my family report. That's what I stand on. I stand on my family report. I don't stand on anything else. You can accuse me, the family report, all of this stuff. That's all after the aiding and caring report. All of it is. That is my report of when I seen my daughter and when we were together. That is what we were like together as a father and a fucking daughter. Everything after that is just fucking stories and accusations and bullshit. Absolute stories. And the stories are created so that I don't see my daughter, to keep me away from my daughter. No, don't obey the court order. Don't go to the visiting centres. Don't fill out the paperwork. Everything but see your daughter. Everything but talk to your daughter. I am no different than fucking the gentlemen that are watching me now. If you think that you are fucking special and that they're not going to put you through the ringer that they've put me, you're fucking in another dreamland world, okay? Because this is how the system works. This is how the system fucking works. It gets you in, it gets your resources from you, it totally fucking drains you, mentally, physically, everything it drains you. I'm fucked in the head, man. I've got to go and talk to a psychologist to get my mind right. I've got to go and talk to somebody, I can't, because it doesn't, I did everything legally, properly, legitimately, and all it takes is lies. It doesn't take anything else. It just takes fucking lie. Just lie. Ladies, just lie. That's all you got to do. Just fucking lie. There's no accountability. There's no one's going to ask you a question. And when you get found out, they don't worry about it. Just accuse of something else. Don't answer the query. Don't answer any questions. Just accuse. So the last one for me that got me really upset was me whipping my daughter. I whipped Echo until her legs were wobbly. Really? Like, that's disgusting. That is absolutely the last minute feral fucking thing that you could expect to come from these people, mate. So I've been really upset about that. I've been very upset about that for the last several days. I haven't been sleeping well. I toss and turn. I sweat. I just haven't been well, mate. And I don't eat. I'm finding it hard to eat. I mainly drink chocolate milk. That's about fucking it, mate. Fuck. My little daughter would enjoy the beach, mate. She would enjoy these trails, mate. The beach is just over there, just over these bushes. My little daughter would enjoy, spending the day with Dad. Go to the beach and have a meat pie and go to the park and, go back to the beach. Yeah, my kid would enjoy the beach, mate. She'd enjoy where Dad is. Fuck, man, I moved to this area so that I could be closer to her, so that it wouldn't be a problem, to go and pick her up and drop her off, and so it's not a stress to anybody. I only live around the corner. They want me barred, mate. They're trying to get orders on me, more orders on me now, more orders on my channel. All orders on social media. They want me fucking social media closed down. They don't like me talking about shit. They want restrictions on me going to the school. I told you that, didn't I? I told you, boys. I haven't even been to the school. Okay? I told you what'll happen if you go to the school. She'll tell the courts that you abused the staff, and you were kicked out of the school, even though you weren't. She'll just fucking lie. And then if you don't go to the school, she'll say that you don't love your daughter. He doesn't love his daughter. He's never been to the school to even get a school thing. And she's just waiting for you to go to the school so she can file a fucking report to the police. Yeah, that's what she needs, mate. She needs a police report. She'll just go down and file it with the police and told them that you're abusing the staff, and I can, just create a storyline, bro. I can't win. There is no winning. I just want to see my daughter. There's no winning. I just want to be in her life, be a part of her life, I should be able to visit my daughter and pick her up and take her and, spend some time with her and drop her back. And like, why in the fuck should why do I have to give up my fatherly feelings, And she's my daughter. Fuck, dudes. So generally I have to go through all this alone. Most men go through all of this alone. Okay, they've got all of this in their head and on their shoulders, mate. They've got no one to talk to, no one to offload to. And now you understand a little bit more why men are necking themselves these days. Like, there's such a high mortality rate. And also alcohol and the DRUGSs, there's a lot of that going on. Now you understand, man. It's always after family law court. It's always after family law court, bro. Men harm themselves. All right? Fuck, dude. Anyway, I'm going to get absolutely nailed. I've been telling you that for ages, but it got confirmed to me on Friday. It was confirmed. There's just nothing I can do to override it, Mr. Barker. I'm sorry. Rah. So we're just going to concede, and like fucking. So you get to this point, mate, and they still try and make you to give up. They still want you to give up. You'll never see your kid again, mate. That's the whole object of the game. The object of the game is to tear the family unit apart, and the more loving of a family unit, the more it needs to be torn apart, and completely destroy it. Destroy the family unit. Okay? It is not important for the courts that your child sees their father, or, you spend time with your daughter. It doesn't matter what you want, as a father or a mother, apparently. It only matters what Echo wants. So, I don't know, man. lorddobbyking@gmail.com. lorddobbyking@gmail.com for PayPal. Help the old bloke out. And thank you very much for anything. That's the beach right there. I got things I got to do, man. I want to go down and see what's in the supermarket, see if I can get any yellow tickets, or see what's on sale. Well, let me have a rest, man. I'm not getting any younger. What time is it? Whew. Nice day, eh? Blue skies, man. No clouds anywhere. Total fucking nice. Look at that little dog, man. He's a nice dog, eh? Let me rest for a minute, man. Let me rest. Whew, that's better. Yeah. Well, I have to do it, Jimmy. It's, you have to do it, mate. You can't give up. You can't just give up. You gotta keep going, mate. You gotta keep battling, okay? You gotta keep going. You can't just give up, mate. You give up, mate, when they tell you that, that's the end of you. That's when you give up. You give up when they When they tell you that's the end of you, you know, you're no longer, here's your official piece of paper to say that you're never to see your daughter again. Here is your official piece of paper. Yeah? That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that, okay? Because, it's not over, mate, until the fat lady sings, mate. Isn't that the saying? Well, it's not over yet. The final hearing hasn't begun, okay? And it might be stacked against you. It might be totally stacked against you. But hopefully something happens on the day. Because this is my last chance. And I am not going to be, quiet. Okay? I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to make sure that my point is across for my daughter. And so that I can, at least I've had my say in court. Because I don't think that it's fair that you go along to a professional psychologist meeting and you are sat there and accused of things that you haven't done, things you don't know anything about, and apparently you're guilty. Yeah? So I'm going to try and have a word, mate, on the day. I will try and have a word. But most of the time I'm told to be quiet, sit down. Otherwise you're going to get charged with contempt of court. They'll just charge contempt of court. And they'll have charges on you then. Okay? So I don't know. I really don't. But the ex would be very proud of herself. Oh, she'll be sitting back, giving herself a little pat on the back and congratulating herself how smart she is and how clever she is. But none of it is facts. None of it at all is facts. You have had to lie your ass off in order to get what you've got. You've had to lie. Absolutely lie in order to get it. As soon as you're asked for proof, it completely falls apart. Your storyline falls apart. The minute you're asked for proof. As long as you're not asked for proof, yeah, you'll win. You'll win hands down every single time. Every time. Your shit is based on lies. Lies and deception of things that didn't happen. Things that don't exist. I slapped my daughter until she had wobbly legs. Really? I slapped my daughter, a 5-year-old child, until she had wobbly legs. And anybody that knows me, viewer, and has watched my streams with my daughter, knows that is a fucking lie. An absolute blatant lie.
Yeah, I'm not.
You notice how women don't move over on the path, boys? All right? No, try and notice as I go past people, mate. Women don't move over because they're the fucking queens. And you've got to walk around them. Two blokes walking together, one guy, they'll go single file. A woman and a man or two women together, yeah, they don't move over. Okay? They don't move over because they're the fucking boss. Yeah? They never move over, boys. They're fucking rude. They never move over. Just get outside, man. Go for a walk. It's the best thing that I can do. It's the only thing that I can do. I've got to be thankful for the life that I've got. I've got to be thankful for the things that I have. Because everything else is fucking gone. Fuck, boys, I don't even have the stuff that I had before I met the person. I don't even have my fucking personal property that I had before I met this fucking person. All of my fucking stuff that I saved and all the stuff that I'd collected over the years, that's all fucking gone, mate, been thrown away. My comic books, my fucking action figurines, everything that my entire youth, mate. I had a book there of Kyra and Mia's artwork as children, that I've kept for over 20 years. Over 20 fucking years I've kept that book. Now thrown away. Their memories, my memories, it doesn't matter. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They've finally got the house. They've finally got it. Yeah? So proud of themselves they must be, mate. So proud. So happy with themselves. Anyway, lorddobbyking@gmail.com, please, viewer, is my PayPal. lorddobbyking@gmail.com. Super chat is open, but I won't get it for an entire month. So if you want to support the channel or help the old bloke out, I'd appreciate you. I don't really get a whole lot out of my channel, to be honest. There's no advertising revenue. There's no revenue really on my channel at all. Really. Just have a break for a minute. Oh, my robot sits on top of my counter. And it's accidentally... yeah, very true. Yeah, I know I'm true, mate. I started to notice it the other day when I was walking past two women walking, and it was only a thin pathway, and I had to walk around these bitches. I had to walk around them. They're not fucking moving at all. They're the women. They're the fucking queens. You've got to walk around them. And make sure you give them 4 or 5 feet, and don't look at them because they might be offended that you looked at them. Okay? And of course they can have you charged with sexual harassment if you look at them too long. Yeah, sexual harassment, mate. Yep. Just don't have a bother with them, mate. Don't bother don't fucking waste your time, bro. Don't waste your time. Like I have learnt, mate, that fucking poo-tang pie is not fucking worth it. Trying to keep poo-tang pie fucking happy, you could spend your entire life, mate, and still lose, mate, still fail. You can never keep them happy, mate, ever. There is always something for them to complain about, always something for them to be unhappy about, because that is their power. That is their power over you. You know, hopefully you meet a good girl, mate. Hopefully you meet someone nice, you know, that hasn't had, 30 partners before you. Oh, yeah. Oh, even if you meet a virgin, mate, fucking that doesn't mean anything. They're the most horrible of women that you could ever fucking be with, mate. I'm a perfect example of that too, mate.
you waiting for cab?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be.
Thank you for shopping with people. Welcome. Remove fruit and veg from any non-Woolworths bag before waiting. Follow the pin pad prompts to finalize your payment.
No, mate, I don't steal anything. I've never stolen anything, mate, ever. Okay? And it sure as fuck wouldn't do me any good to steal online, would it, mate? On stream. What the fuck would I want to do that for? And then you'd be the fucking first cunt to call the cops. You'd be the first cunt to fucking report me, mate. What are you talking about? You'd be fucking on there, mate, making videos. Lord Dobby steals from the supermarket. Fucking, you'd be the first one fucking there, mate. Fuck. Hey driver, thank you. Oh, it's on my mantelpiece, mate, my robot. I like my robot. My kids like my robot too, my daughters. They like my robot. My sister, I showed everybody, family, mate, my robot. Just a coffee, mate. That's all I can afford. I just got a coffee on $4. $4 coffee. I haven't had one for ages. lorddobbyking@gmail.com is my PayPal viewer. lorddobbyking@gmail.com. I got a coffee milk. Yeah, I am a fool, mate. A fool for the poutine pie, mate. Yeah, that's what I'm a fool for. I'm a fool for the poutine pie. Oh, well, I'm on. There's more information about the Charlie Kirk thing, though, mate. You know, definitely tying it back to Bibi. Definitely tying it back to him, mate. There's no way he's going to be able to get out of it. They are going to find out, mate. Trust me. And the more that they try and be deceptive, and the more that they try and pass off some fucking, Lee Harvey Oswald of the 2025, the more it's going to come down on him, okay? Because he's really trying his best, bro. He really is. The deflection is huge. Deflecting. And then his own parliament, they did there was a parliamentary meeting for Bibi, and his own parliament were turning on him. His own parliament, because they're querying, you paid Qatar. You paid for those soldiers. You paid for the Hamas. You paid cash money every month. You did personally, Bibi. You took it over there. You gave them money, and then you bombed them. You killed them. So he's sitting there and he's like totally guilty in his own court thing, And you could just see in his face, he's got nothing to say. He just knows that he's guilty. He knows the guy's talking facts, and there's nothing that he can do to get out of it. And then Charlie Kirk's situation, mate. Yeah, Charlie Kirk was turning against the Israeli lobby. He was turning against AIPAC. He was turning against their influence. He was turning against Trump. And that's a lot of influence that Charlie had. All of those young people, mate, in colleges and everything were all supporting Charlie by the thousands, mate, thousands and thousands of people. It was an entire setup, mate, to destroy that particular movement, that movement of young viewers that do not agree with Bibi, that do not see Israel as the fucking chosen people. Yeah, they see Israel for what it's done, mate, the fucking genocide in Gaza, what they've committed. Yeah. So these young people, mate, that's why they had to turn it, mate. They had to turn that whole situation around. And if you want confirmation of it, all you've got to do is look at the two blokes behind. The two blokes that were behind Charlie on the day. And if you're trying to tell me they didn't give hand signals and they didn't tell, sniper ready, that was one of the actual gestures. Sniper ready. And then the other guy in fire when ready. That's what his hand signal was. Fire when ready. So the whole thing was a setup. If you want to find out who did it, find out who those two men are. Find out who those two men are, viewer. Put some time into it. Get some whatever you guys do on the internet, and find out who those two men were behind Charlie Kirk that were making those hand gestures. And then you'll find out who was behind it in reality. Have you seen the two different men, mate? Have you seen the two different men appear now? Mate, we have a Lee Harvey Oswald of the 2025. This is the guy that did it. This is him. Mate, you put the two pictures together, face to face, that's not the same guy. That is not the same guy, mate. That's not the same guy. And then there's something about the rifle. Apparently the rifle was broken down. It was, broken down, and the guy's trying to say that he had half the rifle in his backpack and the other half of the rifle down his pants. As he's climbing and jumping down the building. They say that half a rifle is down his pants. Watch the video, mate. Can you see any rifle down the guy's pants as he's jumping down the fucking building? I'm telling you, man, it's a setup. I'm telling you, it's Lee Harvey Oswald, 2025. That's your man right there. The real man, he got on a private plane that was waiting at the tarmac. There was a private plane waiting at the tarmac no more than 15 minutes away from that university. And it had been sitting there on a pre-planned pre-planned flight. Okay? That's where your real killer went. That's where he went. Because when that plane got in the air, their transponder got turned off. Their radar thing got turned off. Okay? And then it disappeared, and then it reappeared back again when it was coming back to the airport. So wherever the aeroplane went, they don't know. They don't know where the aeroplane went. And that is where your real assassin was. Your real assassin was in that plane. Okay? He's gone. Mate, that was a professional hit. I'm just blown away that a professional, army person, whatever, or a Mossad or whatever, they can look through the scope and shoot an unarmed person without any problem. And you think to yourself, nah, that's not possible, rah. But have a look at Gaza. Have a look at that, mate. These people are shooting unarmed people without a problem in the world. Hundreds and hundreds of people die every fucking week, mate. We're up to nearly 2,000 people dying just getting food alone, being shot. So there's no compunction in the fucking Zionist mindset, mate, to do that. Don't think they can't. They're not capable of it. You need to find out who those two guys were, mate. That's what you need to do. You need to try and work out what their IDs. Because that is going to lead you back. It's going to open up a whole new pathway, bro. It really is. You're really going to work out what's going on if you can find out who those two people are that were in the back.
It's too suspicious, man. Like the hand signals, the face gestures, everything, man. They broke it down. The guy was an ex-veteran, and he broke down those hand signals, and he showed on a piece of paper exactly what those hand signals mean. And he said, when I seen that, he said, I knew Charlie was going to get done. He said, in the background, he said, it's just so obvious a setup. Sniper is ready. That was one of the hand signals from the guy on the left, and the other guy on the right, the big tall guy, his signal was fire when ready. Fire when ready. Okay? Frightening, mate. Frightening. And I think it'll lead back to Trump. I think it'll lead back to Mossad. It's a professional hit. It's not some crazy left loon, anti-Fada, Israel hating, rah rah. That's what they're going to paint it as. They're going to paint it as an Israel hater, a Palestinian supporter, an anti-Fada person. Because then they're going to get the sympathy back on Israel again. They'll get the sympathy from those college people again. Because he's not popular in colleges, mate. Bibi. Yeah, they don't fucking like him at all, mate, in the college. Okay? I think as time goes on, mate, I think more and more stuff's going to come out. More and more truth is going to come out in relation to this assassination, this murder. It was a murder, mate. Plain and simple, a murder. The guy got murdered. Okay? His opinion doesn't matter. So, they had to get rid of him, mate. His popularity, the amount of young people that followed him and listened to him. Yeah, the government doesn't like that, mate. Especially if you're not for the government. If you're talking against the government and you're talking against the paradigm, they're going to try and get rid of you, mate. They've done it with hundreds before. Why do you think it would change now? And then because don't forget BB and Kirky, they've got a bit of a relationship, a personal thing going on, right? They call each other, yeah? They say hello to each other, mate. And the last time he spoke to was Charlie, was to invite him over to Israel, right? And Charlie's knocked him back, mate, and said, no, I don't want to go. And the personal friend of Charlie said that he's living he's living. They're gonna kill him, mate. Charlie Kirk had said to his friend, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. That's what he said. So he told his friend that. So no, you're going against their paradigm, mate. You're talking against the Zionists. You're talking against the movement. You spoke against Gaza. You spoke about the deaths in Gaza and the genocide. Yeah, you can't do that with such a big platform as Charlie Kirk, mate. You just can't. Because you're going against the government. You're going against the current paradigm, the current storyline. So that's why they got rid of him, mate. That's why. All right, too much of a following. Yeah. Man, it's not some schmuck, mate, that just got up in the morning and put together a sniper rifle and gets on top of a building. Like, that shit takes planning, bro. It takes planning, mate. Okay. It takes planning on how to find the position. The whole thing takes planning. The way that lean-to over his head. Yeah, that takes planning, mate. Where do you get in the exact spot where it can get underneath that lean-to? And that's where it is, mate, off to the right there, just off to the right. And those two men, mate, those two men, mate, they're definitely part of it, bro. Like, definitely part of it, It's a real shame, mate. Don't think that they won't sacrifice one of their own in order to keep their power. You know what I mean? Just, yeah, it's we are beyond that now, mate. It's not the 1990s no more. It's year 2025, mate, and a lot of people are woken up. They've woken up, bro. They don't believe the fucking bullshit paradigm. They know their government fucking hates them. They know their government will do anything they can to enslave them. Even in Australia, mate, we're not stupid to it. We know what the government will do to us because we had COVID, and they'll gladly lock us down, mate, and jail us. They'll gladly fine us just for an opinion in Australia. And they've come out with a whole bunch of new laws since then. Don't forget that. And I can't imagine the new laws that will come out now from this. The new laws they'll be able to install. Thank you, driver. You too, sir. You too. Yeah, I can't imagine the new fucking laws they'll come up with, mate.
the new paradigm, the new internet security, the new college fucking security, whatever it'll be, mate. But there's no other Charlie Kirk, bro. His voice is gone. They have silenced him. So whatever he was going to say in the future, whatever influence he was going to have over these kids, over these college kids, yeah, that's fucking non-existent now, bro. Non-existent. Good on you, Dad. Good on you, Dad. Fucking, it's good to be a dad. He's got 2 little girls. He's got 2 little girls. It's good to be a dad, mate. There's nothing better in life than being a dad. Nothing. Nothing more better than being a dad. Looking after your children. I don't think there's a better thing in the world. It was such a pleasure, mate, to be her dad and to look after her every day. You know, take her to the park every day. I don't know whether you noticed back in those streams, mate, but I never knocked my daughter back going to the park. You know, she had so much energy, bro. We'd go to the park for 2 hours. We'd come home. She's home for 15 fucking minutes. And then bang, she wants to go to the pool. You know, she wants to go to the fucking pool, mate. So I'm at the pool for fucking 3 hours with my daughter, mate. You know, then I come home and it's...
Oh, awesome.
How are you, darling? Good?
Just on the window near that pot, there's a spider. Did you kill it?
A spider near the window.
On the window.
On the window.
Above the pot.
Above the pot, there's a spider.
Can you see the window in front of you?
Yeah, I'm going to see the spider.
The top window.
Oh,
It's gone.
I can't see no spider.
Oh, it's gone, the bastard.
What kind of spider was it?
I don't know, black. Ew.
I don't know.
Hope it hasn't gone inside. I'm sorry.
You're right, you're right.
So you've seen your daughter?
No, I haven't. No. Speak to Echo. She told them that I had a DV order, DV charges, DV investigation, accusing me, telling me that I've got a DV, you've got the answer to the serious charges, and you've done this and you've done that. Absolutely shocking, and my poor little daughter will never see me.
You can't find it.
Well, it's a family report writer. You can't override her. Apparently her word is the absolute gospel. I still got it, you know, still got all... Yeah, still the same thing. See you, mate. Oh, God, I haven't seen that lady. She's the caretaker. She takes care of my friend. What do they call them? You know, like NDIS lady? What do they call that? I don't know. A caretaker? No, not a caretaker. You know, someone that takes care of him. I don't know what they call that, though. She just arrived. Probably cooking him lunch or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, that's her. Nice lady, eh? She's been taking care of him for years and years. You see, mate, people ask me if I've seen my daughter. Okay, they ask me everywhere I go, whoever knows me and knows what I've been through, they ask me, have you seen your daughter yet? You know, if I was such a cunt of a bloke, they wouldn't even ask me if I've seen my daughter yet. Yeah? lorddobbyking@gmail.com, viewer, is my PayPal. Help an old bloke out, please. lorddobbyking@gmail.com is my PayPal. What time is it? Can't see the time. 11:10. Great, mate. 3 minutes. That is correct. I believe that also, mate. I believe he was a threat to their system. I was reading your question, mate. I've just got to get into the dark a little bit to read them. Yeah, he had too much power. He was gaining too much acknowledgement. Too many people liked him. And he wasn't, at the start of it all, he was agreeing with the paradigm. He was going along with what they wanted. You know what I mean? Like, he would stick up for Bibi. He stuck up for the Gaza. Rah, rah, rah. But the only thing is, you know, he has Candace Owens. and they are the best of friends. And Candace, slowly woke him to it, slowly woke him up, with facts. With facts, she woke him up. She woke him up with videos and vids and fucking facts. So he was starting to wake up to it. And then he had personal thing with the Trump administration. He went into the building, he went in to meet them, and apparently they treated him really badly. And Bibi is so desperate to get into Israel. And Charlie was afraid of going to Israel. He was afraid that he would never make it out of Israel, that they were going to kill him in Israel. They're going to kill him. Okay? And Trump would have been afraid of him, because if he starts talking the way he's talking, people are going to wake up. People are going to realise what is going on. Okay? They are going to fucking wake up to the situation, mate, of the corrupt fucking system, of how... Oh, that's what it is. Charlie woke up the fact that the Trump administration and Donald Trump is beholden and is a willing accomplice of Israel. Everything that Israel is doing, Trump knows about it and is an accomplice to it and agrees to it. And Charlie found that there's no longer a US government. It is an Israel government. The government is run by Israel, by proxy. Okay? The US government doesn't exist anymore. It's Israel running the whole fucking joint. And that's what he was against, mate. He was against a foreign nation running his country, having the fucking laws in his country. That's what he was up about, mate. And it turned him. It turned him from a supporter of Israel to a speaker against Israel. He was speaking against Israel. He turned against Israel, mate. And that was his biggest mistake. And his other big mistake was knocking BB back on coming to a visit to Israel to try and get him back on side. They wanted to get him back on side. But Charlie was too afraid of being anywhere near these people. He knew that they are killers and liars. And he knows the minute that they do it, they're going to knock him off. Like, they are going to fucking knock him off, mate. And they did. That's exactly what they did. I believe they're involved in it, mate. I believe Trumpy's got it fucking, he had knowledge of it. I find it amazing that two separate governments, viewer, American government and the Israeli government, as soon as Charlie died, a couple of minutes later, they both tweeted at the same time, they both tweeted how sad it was. Okay? And everybody that read the tweet is stunned on how these two people would get together so quickly and on the exact same moment that they would say those words. So that's what they're spun out about, bro. Beholden. Yeah, they were beholden to him, mate. Charlie was getting a bit. He woke up to them. He woke up to the Israel lobby. He woke up to the power of AIPAC. He realised how much power they have in the government in his country, and then he went to meet Trump, and he realised that Trump doesn't do any talking. Netanyahu does all the talking for him. Netanyahu does. Okay, behind closed doors. Charlie realised that Trump is not the president. Netanyahu's the president. Okay, and we are a Israeli, run by the Israeli proxy. That's what he called it. He called it a proxy government that is running America, not America. And that's why they're all beholden to it, the actual AIPAC. And what was happening is that the voters were going against Israel, but the politicians are being paid by Israel through the AIPAC lobby. So the politician can only get power if he's voted in. If he's voted in. Okay, his only power to AIPAC, mate, is when he's in the seat of power. Now, if the people that are giving him the vote are telling him we no longer support Israel, we will no longer support that, then how can he support Israel openly? How can he, you know what I mean? He can't go into the Congress and start yelling and screaming about Israel if his own people that elected him are against Israel. And the people that vote, ladies and gentlemen, who votes? The 25 to 30-year-old. The white American is the voter, not any other voter. The black voter, the Mexican voter, doesn't matter. Only the white voter matters. That's what happens in America. So the college students are a huge range of students that no longer vote for Trump, they no longer vote for Bibi, they no longer vote for the war, the Gaza, the genocide. They don't vote for it anymore. They're protesting against it. So right now, Bibi and Trump have got all these protests on the street, right? They're all against what they're doing, right? The genocide, right? Then you've got Charlie Kirk coming out and agreeing with them and saying that they shouldn't be doing this, they shouldn't be doing that. Like, he was a really adamant against Israel. Adamant against. He really didn't like the whole thing at all, okay? And then that power, mate, where do you think that politicians are going to get that power? If their own electorate is against the war, how can that politician stand up in the Congress and go, I'm all for Israel, I'm all for the AIPAC, I'm all for the genocide, I'm all for the relocation of 2.4 million people out of their land? See, they can't. You see, they'll lose power. So if they lose power, that means that Israel's going to lose power in the lobby, because it doesn't matter how much money you got if the politician isn't in power. You see? So they had to get rid of Charlie, mate. They've got to get rid of him, and they have successfully turned it all around. They've successfully done what they planned to do. They've got everybody divided and yelling and screaming about left and right, complaining about politics, left and right, when it had nothing to do with the with politics. It had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it at all. It had to do with Israel and Trump getting rid of an obstacle to their power, an obstacle to their paradigm, okay? Imagine in a couple of years, mate, if Charlie decided to be a president, was going to run for presidency, how do you think he would have went? Do you think he would have won the presidency against Trump or against, whoever else they want to pull out of the woodwork? Because they've got nobody, mate. Who else are they going to run in the next presidency, bro? They've got fucking nobody. And now they've got an opposition, Charlie Kirk. He's going to run for presidency, right? Well, that's going to end their whole, swamp and fucking Epstein files, and because Charlie wants it all released. You see, he wants all that released. Well, that's what Trump promised, and Trump never came through. Trump kept it all because he's part of the swamp. Trump is part of the swamp. He's part of the flight logs. He's in there, mate, okay? So that's why he wants it all covered up. Yeah? And Israel has been involved in every single thing that has happened in America. Everything, boys. Everything, mate. Right down to the 9/11. Right down to the buildings, mate. We all know now, from years and years later, that it was Mossad that brought down the buildings, mate. Mossad blew the shit out of those buildings, man, with fucking thermodynamic explosives that melted the beams, bro. Put them into melting pot, on the ground. Those things were still on fire 2 weeks later. They're still on fire, mate. The steel was still on fire. Yeah? They're involved in everything, mate. They're involved in everything right the way back to JFK. Right the way back to JFK, mate. From JFK onwards, they have been involved in every secret and black op fucking situation that's happened. Yeah? They have they're cold-blooded, mate. Cold-blooded, yeah? I mean, if you can go into the country, bro, and they've killed basically over 200,000 people, medics, doctors, nurses, media, they have killed absolutely everybody. They give you a half an hour warning to leave your home. It's concentrated by Hamas. So we need to blow it up. And then half an hour later, they blow your entire building up. The entire fucking building. They go after one Hamas leader, and they kill 300 people. 300 people in order to get one Hamas leader. Okay? They have they are as cold-blooded as they come, mate. And as far as they're concerned, that doesn't matter how many go down, as long as they get the target. As long as they get that target, mate. These people will fly into another country, bro, and kill the entire parliament of a fucking another country. They kill the entire parliament. Trump will set up a peace deal. Israel will set up a peace deal, beg them to come along to the peace deal. We're going to talk about it. And when they get to the peace deal, mate, they blow them up. They fucking execute them. They kill everybody. And then not only that, but in the past, they've waited for these negotiators to go home to their wives and family, and then they kill them at home. So they kill the wife, the family, they kill everybody. The mother, the father, they wipe them all out. You know, you're talking about people that open fire on media. You know, people with media things on, they get shot in the head. You know, now they're into Yemen, mate. Did you know that they killed 360 Yemen reporters in one go? They blew up the entire building. Israel blew up the entire building, the media building in Yemen. Blew it up. Killed everybody. 360 people, mate. Reporters. But of course, you know, Israel looks at you and goes, oh no, they're all Hezbollah. They're all Hezbollah. So we have to kill them. You know, they're all Hezbollah. You know, it's your fault that I had to kill you. It's your fault, you know, because you're part of Hezbollah. So I have to kill you. I have no choice in the matter. You know, you'll never forget the Israeli minister when he comes out and says, you know, I blame the Egyptians because I killed their children. I blame the Egyptians because I killed their children. So it's your fault that he had to kill you. You know what I mean? This is their logic, bro. So if you have the same logic and you put it into America in regards to Charlie Kirk, you can see why they would knock him off. You can see why he would be target number one, just for his following, just for the people that follow him and listen to him. You know, thousands and thousands of people, mate. You know, when he goes to the colleges, bro. You know, look what happens when Bibi goes to the college, mate. He is booed and cheered and you know, he has to be escorted away by the police, mate, if he goes to a college. You know, he doesn't have the cheering and the love that Charlie had. So Bibi doesn't like that, bro. Bibi doesn't like that at all. So you start talking against Israel, you start talking about against the genocide, the Gaza, you know, people dying, people getting blown up. Yeah, that's not going to be acceptable. Okay, you've got too many following, and your age group that follow you is the age group that they want, that they need. They need that age group, bro, to become part of the political system. You know, to vote for them. They need those 25-year-old college people. Okay, so they're not going to get any of those votes. Trump. None of it. They're not going to vote to do the war. They're not going to vote to go in and kill people, to invade lands. They're not going to get that vote. But now they might. But now you're going to see a whole new range of people speak out. Oh, mate, they have opened up a shit show. They really have. They've opened up a shit show because, you know, you've got all of these commentators now are scared. They're running scared. You know, the Candace Owens of the world, these people that speak out, they're running scared, bro, wherever they go, because they know they're next. They know they're next. If you don't think that there's not a target on Candace Owens' head, I swear to God, she's next. You know, Israel has no problems knocking off anybody that's in opposition, mate. No problem at all. Okay? So all of these speakers that come out and talk about the things in America, yeah, they're on the hit list. They're on the hit list, buddy. You know, that's why Candace Owens and that other big guy, he's really famous and he does all the political talk over there. He's only a young bloke. Him. You know, he also turned against Israel. He turned against them. And I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, man. I can't remember his name right now. But he's also on the hit list. So they need to get rid of these people in order to change the public perception, to fill it up with their own propaganda, their own lies, mate. You know, Israel is like dealing with your ex-wife. That's what Israel is like. Israel is like dealing with your ex-wife. She just creates absolute lies and bullshit to cover her own ass. That's what she does. Yeah, I know they put me in the spare room, mate. I know exactly where they put me, mate, why they put me and how they put me there. You got no idea what that day was like, boys, coming home from work and finding all of your stuff has been moved to the spare room. Oh, that was a fucking good day. Hey, that was a good day. I love you. You know, you're going to be more comfortable in the spare room. You'll be able to sleep better if you move to the spare room. So your loving wife, she moves your shit to the spare room while you're at work. While you're at work, bro. You know, because she loves you so much. You know, you're such a good guy. You know, so she needs to move you. She's worried about your comfort, mate. Are you going to be comfortable tonight? You know, the big bed in there, you know, you can sleep right in the middle. You know, you don't have to sleep with me. You know, because she's a fucking horrible person to sleep next door to, bro. It's non-stop move over, move over, move over, the old elbow into the ribs. And if that doesn't fucking work, you move to the other side of the bed to keep the person happy. And she's not fucking happy. Now she's kicking you in the back. She's kicking you, okay? So it's anything to fucking get you out of it's anything to get you out of the bed, bro. Anything at all. I don't think I woke up a single fucking morning with that person. Not a single fucking morning, mate. Not a single morning did I wake up with that fucking person. And they sit there going, I love you, I love you. Fucking bullshit, you love me. Fucking bullshit. You like having your biscuit fucking licked, that's about it. That's about all you fucking like. You know? lorddobby at gmail.com, viewer. Help the old bloke out. I don't really get a lot of ad revenue on my channel. I don't really get anything, really. That'd be good. Can't see shit right now. But anyway, back to the old Charlie vision, mate. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot more information coming out. They're not just going to let this fucking sit, mate. It's not just going to be able to go away. They're not going to be able to pull this out of their ass and, you know, say that it's Antifada and say that it's the left, it's the crazy left, you know, they did this to Charlie, rah, rah. Because the facts are going to come out, bro. The facts are going to come out whether they like it or not. And people nowadays, you know, we're computer smart, we're savvy, and, you know, there's people out there that are dissecting every fucking second of that assassination. I mean, they are down to the slow-mo, mate. You all right? They're looking at every frame, bro. They're looking at everything. You know, and right now, mate, you know what the biggest target is? And you guys don't probably realise this, is those two men standing behind Charlie Kirk. They are the biggest targets in fucking America right now. They have got a target on their back and their chest and their head, bro. They've got every fucking computer sleuth in America, everywhere in the country, mate, is trying to find these two cunts' fucking identity. I'm telling you, man, it's a matter of time before they find out that these two are from the fucking Israeli Mossad, or they're part of the fucking sniper fucking team of fucking Green Berets or some shit, you know, out of Fort Bragg or some fucking something like that. And what a fucking cunt of a fucking Americans, mate. What a cunt of a fucking bloke that you would sit behind someone planning their assassination, giving the hand signals, mate, in order to pull it off. In order to pull it off so that you can kill a fellow American because you don't like his popularity, you don't like what he's saying, you don't like the people that follow him. They should be following you and listening to your propaganda and believing everything that you say. So you need to kill him. You need to assassinate him. Imagine being that kind of American, viewer, that you'll stand behind a fellow American planning their execution on home soil, in a university, in front of thousands and thousands of people. Have you ever wondered why? Why such a public fucking execution? Why such a public assassination? You know, they could have got Charlie, mate, while he was sitting on the toilet taking a dump. Yeah? They could have fucking, you know what I mean? We've all heard of exploding fucking toilets, mate. Yeah? If they could have got him while he walked out of a building, while he was going to the car, while he was driving along, while he was having a coffee, while he was having a meal. They would have had 1,000 fucking chances to do this. But they waited until it was live. They waited until he had thousands of people in front of him. Yeah? Because they wanted to make a thing of him. Well, it's done the job, because these people that are normally the talkers, the Candace Owens of the world, the Charlie Kirks of the world, have now disappeared.
They've disappeared. They're no longer as vocal as what they were. And whatever they do say from now on, they're going to be very careful, okay? Because they know that they can get executed, assassinated from 200 yards away. Yeah? That's why it was so public. It was a statement. It was a statement to keep your fucking mouth closed. Keep your mouth closed about subjects that we don't like you talking about. You know, I watched another video and apparently they called Charlie, the Trump team, and Netanyahu called Charlie, advisors to these people called him and told him to stop talking about the genocides, to stop talking about Israel in this way, in this negative way. Charlie was in fear, mate, of the Israel lobby. He was in fear of AIPAC. He was in fear of how much control they have in Donald Trump. They control him. You know, behind closed doors, Trump doesn't say a fucking word. Bibi does all the talking. Bibi does. And he does that because the Adelsons, the Adelson billionaires who have donated $400 million or something to Trump's campaign. And that's why. For the money. It's all about the money. It's got nothing to do with anything else. You know, Trump comes in a billionaire, he wants to leave a trillionaire. A trillionaire. You know, every one of those politicians, they come in there with no money and they're now multi-millionaires. All of them are. Bernie Sanders, worth over $200 million. Over $200 million for Bernie Sanders alone. I mean, fuck me drunk, dude. That is a lot of yes man. That is a lot of him obeying the law, him obeying what he's been told. You know, him doing exactly what he's been told. That's why he got $200 million, mate. I'm telling you, bro. Wait until the future. That's a nice dog view. Look at that. Wait until the future. You know, wait until time wears down, mate, and they start working out exactly what happened, mate. Okay? And as more time goes on, these people are like pit bulls with a bone. They are not going to let it go. They are going to dissect every fucking second of that tape. Every second of it. The guy jumping off the building, the guy running down the thing. That's not the same fucking guy. It's not. It's not. You know, and apparently they find the rifle in the forest wrapped in a blanket. And this is the rifle that killed Charlie Kirk. You know? The cunt doesn't come apart. It's not, one minute they're telling us that the guy took the rifle apart, put it all into his thing and jumped down the building. The next minute they're telling us, look, we've found the entire rifle wrapped in a towel and here it is here, neatly presented to me. You know what I mean? Like you've got the perfect fucking shot, right? You got the perfect picture. You know, the rifle, everything there, mate, already fucking, you know? It's too easy. It's too easy, brother. And I want you to find the video where the guy studies the flight paths of the aeroplanes. And he said, you know, he made a video, just said, I just find this really, really coincidental that, you know, the plane is sitting there ready to go, flight path already organised. The door of the plane is open. You know, he showed the pictures and he said, this is a private jet owned by these two billionaires, rah, 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 rah. They are connected to AIPAC, rah, rah. This is their connection. They are also connected to the Knet, whatever that is. Some Jewish fucking lobby, I don't know. He says they're part of that. He says that is registered to this company and the company is owned by these two people. So, 15 minutes away from where Charlie was assassinated, a jet plane is sitting on the tarmac with the door open, and within 15 minutes, it's taken off. No pre-schedule, no fucking thing with the tower, no nothing. It just takes off out of the fucking, out of Utah. When it gets in the air, it's up there for 15 minutes, and then its transponder gets turned off. All right? Its transponder. It doesn't reappear again until the plane is ready to land back in Utah. So wherever that plane went is completely secret. Okay? That is where your real assassinator is. Yeah?
That's where the real bad guy is, mate. The real assassin left on that plane. Okay, I'm telling you, boys, you're going to put the one and one together. It may take a couple of more weeks, but they're going to work out exactly what the fuck who did this. Okay? And it's not some crazy guy that just woke up, decided to get a fucking long-range fucking gun and start shooting Charlie Kirk in the neck. That is a fucking precise target. Precise target. You know, precise hit. 200 yards away. That's a professional. That is a trained professional. You know, and I found it really convenient that they find a whole bunch of bullets, you know, written on it, you know, all of these different sayings, Swazi, Nazi fucking sayings or whatever, and that's what they're saying killed Charlie, you know. He had a mark on the bullet. Look, he marks all the bullets. This is for this one and this. Like fucking bullshit, dude. Absolute bullshit, dude. It's like handing us over. It's like Lee Harvey Oswald, mate, back in Kennedy. You know, back with Kennedy, bro. Yeah? And he did it. And we all know he didn't fucking do it. We all know he didn't do it, but it's 60 years later, and they still won't release those documents because that will confirm exactly what we've been saying for the last 60 years. Yeah? A conspiracy theory is only a theory, mate, until it's proven correct. Yeah? And that's the way that they close you down, by calling you a conspiracy theory. They close you down. They dismiss what you say. And then it comes out 2 years later that what you said is exactly what fucking happened. Okay? They just didn't want anybody to know. Whew. With no military background, he's a professional. See, I don't believe that either, man. I don't believe it, JM. I never believed it from when I heard it. So I didn't even know he was 22. I didn't even know his age. I just looked at the picture, and then I remembered the picture that they said that this is the guy, and then they look at the picture that this is the guy we caught, and I thought to myself automatically, that is not the same guy. Okay? It's not the fucking same guy. And 22-year-old, right? Fucking hell, mate. No, mate. No chance in the world. No fucking chance in the world. That was a highly planned, highly trained professional. As soon as the hit was done, he was straight on the plane out of fucking Utah. He was gone. Gone. It's illegal for a plane to turn off their transponder. It's illegal. They're not allowed to turn it off because they need it for the tracking of the, of other planes. They need to know where the plane is in the air. Otherwise, you're going to get crashes, right? So it's illegal for them to turn the transponder off, but they turned it off. And it didn't come on again for 2 or 3 hours until the plane was ready to land again back at the same airport. So its entire trip was in secret. In secret. Okay? And that's your fucking man. That is your killer. Your killer got in the private jet that was waiting for him at the airport and fucked off. Yeah? And then they've got the patsy sitting there, and you know, we've got him. You know, he's a crazy leftist, you know, anti-fatter, you know, doesn't believe in Israel. You know, the whole thing, they'll turn it back to sympathy on Israel. That's what they'll do. They'll turn it all around so that Israel gets back the sympathy of those college students. You know, it needs those college students, mate. Trump needs those college students for voting, to vote. Okay? How is he going to get back in power? How is anybody like him going to get back in power when all of those students are against what you are wanting them to do? They're against it. Yeah? Fascinating, isn't it? Franny was afraid. That's correct, yeah, that is what Charlie said. He's one of his best friends, you know, he confided in him, and then the best friend also told about the meeting with Trump and with Bibi at the White House, and he said that Trump was just a silent partner. You know, Trump is not the president. Bibi Netanyahu is the president. And America is run by proxy from the Israel government. They're run by proxy, okay, which means that Israel runs America, yeah? Done by proxy. And I'd believe that, man. I would believe that. You know, Trump is only interested in money when it comes down to it. He's interested in money and power. That is what he craves. And if he's getting paid $400 million from the Adelsons, of course he's going to turn his back. Yeah? He's going to pretend he doesn't see anything. But when the electorate has had enough, and the electorate is telling him, we're not putting up with this anymore, that's when he has to listen. Because without them, he has no presidency, he has no power. So he has to get them back on side, mate. You know? And he can't get them on side. They are losing the propaganda war. They've lost the propaganda war. They cannot go on anymore and say, you know, it's your fault that I killed your children. You know, you didn't leave the building quick enough. It's your fault that I had to kill your entire family. You know, we've had too many stories of these fucking Zionists killing entire fucking, you know, generations of people in one bomb hit. You know, they followed a nurse back, this lady nurse, a senior doctor from one of the hospitals or something, a lady, and they got her back on with drone, and they waited until she got home, and then they blew the entire building up, and all of her family, including her, were killed. Her entire family, okay? Everybody gone. You know, mother, sister, brothers, fathers, daughters, kids, children. I think it was 16 people that were killed just in that one hit. So these people are fucking Zionist fucking dogs, mate. And don't think that they're not capable of what has happened. It's nothing to them. That would be fucking a simple Sunday afternoon for them. Yeah? And they love the planning. You know, Israel loves unarmed people. It loves to kill unarmed people. You know, doctors, medics, children, women. It doesn't like to go and fight Iran. No, Iran can launch missiles. So they leave Iran alone, yeah, until they can get America involved, and then America can go and fight Iran. You know, they won't even fight Iran, mate. They'll send America in to do it, bro. That's what they'll do. Hey, you folks. Enjoy your day, sir. Ah, mate, Charlie Kirk. He's left a ripple in the sea, mate, that will never die. You know, he's left a ripple in the sea, mate, that will become a tide. A ripple in the sea that will become a tsunami. A tsunami of fucking people, bro. You know, they're not going to just walk away and let it fucking die, mate. They're not just going to roll over and accept the new paradigm of what Trump and Netanyahu are coming out at, mate. And people are highly offended that those two fucking dog rats texted tweeted or whatever, Twix or whatever the fuck it's called, tweeted exactly the same time, 3:02 p.m. They exactly same time, how condolences to the family. Yeah? And this was only mere minutes after the actual execution, you know, the assassination. And they knew straight away. And Bibi, what the fuck is Bibi leaving a condolences to Charlie Kirk's family? You know? So that's what a government is willing to do, viewer. It's willing to kill, it's willing to lie. You know, it's just like your ex-wife. It's just like your ex-wife. There's not much fucking difference, to be honest. You didn't know it. Barley was amongst wolves unknowingly. Yeah, I'd agree that, mate. I agree with that. He's been sacrificed for the paradigm, bro. Sacrificed because of his opinion, and assassinated because of his popularity. He had to go. Just the popularity part alone. They couldn't let him have that popularity, mate. Okay, he's becoming more popular than Bibi, more popular than fucking Trumpy, and that is not going to suit their paradigm. How are they going to get elected? How is he going to pull off the next fucking genocide? How is he going to be able to go in? Because Bibi hasn't finished. He needs to bomb Beirut, Yemen, Iraq, Iran. Yeah, he's got a lot of countries yet to bomb, mate. He's got plenty of bombing to do, old fucking Bibi. He's not finished yet. He's going to wipe out fucking another 6 countries to make the Greater Israel project. Okay? I mean, that cunt, mate, is already killing entire governments. Entire governments, he is blowing them up. You know, he sends his plane into another fucking country in order to do it. Yeah? Let's just go and blow up the entire fucking government. So that cunt's evil, man. Did you see that interview? He was in the Knesset. He was in the Knesset, and one of his own people are fucking giving it to him. And like the guy saying, we know that you funded Hamas. We know that you went to Kuwait and you paid money every single month to whoever Hezbollah or something, I don't know. You know, you were paying the money, and you were paying the money to create the enemy, so that you can say, we need to, you know, they're harming us and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. But the entire time you're funding them. You're the one that's actually, what is this cunt doing, mate? He's in the middle of the fucking road. He's on the wrong side of the road, mate. He just reversed up onto the wrong side of the road. Oh, fucking weirdo, man. I was wondering what was going on. Anyway, help the old man out today if you can. lorddobbyking@gmail.com is my PayPal. If you've enjoyed my stream at all, please, you know, chuck us a coffee. I'd appreciate you today. I'm a little bit broke until fucking Wednesday. That's life. I'm always fucking broke, I suppose. I got a coffee milk anyway. I got a coffee milk. I can't complain. And that's what I think is what's happened, mate, in the latest bit of Charlie Kirk stuff, okay? And I think over the next few weeks, mate, there's going to be a lot of investigating, mate. A lot of private citizens dissecting that film. Dissecting it, brothers. We need to find out who those two men were behind Charlie. Who were those two men doing the hand signals behind Charlie? Who were they? You know, because that alone, just those two men with the hand signals, yeah, that tells me that it's not what they're saying. That tells me right there that this is a professional hit. Professional. You know, the guy that's pulling the trigger, he's highly trained, mate. He is from, you know, he's probably got himself a medal right now. Okay, he's probably dead, actually. I would call that he's been done. Okay, the executioner, the person that did it, yeah, he's already in the ground somewhere. He's already in the ground somewhere, brother. Okay, they get rid of the evidence like that. But that's what I reckon has happened, bro. I really, really do. I think they've executed him on deliberate because of the power and his popularity, and people liked him and they watched him. You know. Oh, man, that's fucking hot. That's better, man. A nice cigarette. lorddobbyking@gmail.com, viewers. lorddobbyking@gmail.com. I'm kind of reaching out today. I'm a bit broke. So I'm reaching out to my team, to my channel. Yeah, that's what he said to them, mate. You've been watching the same videos that I have, mate. Yeah, I believe it, man. I really do. Ever seen that movie called? Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good movie. That's a good movie, man. I know that it's a fucking execution. I know that for a fact. You know, I would even go as far as saying it's so well planned that where they put the marquee, where they put the thing over his head, where he sat, the exact spot of the chair of where he sat was all a setup. The desk, the fucking thing over his head, where he sat in the chair, it's exact, you know, right, you know, there, right? You got that perfect fucking angle, right? Whereas anything else, if you were to put the chair 5 feet this way, 5 feet that way, it wouldn't have matched. They wouldn't have had that clear shot.
So I reckon it's even down to that. It's even down to the day that they set it up, the day they set the fucking table on the ground, mate. You know, the exact position of the table, the exact position of the chair. Okay? You know, like seriously, like I think it was that exact. You know, they needed him to sit in that particular spot right there. That's where they needed, like 5 feet this way, 5 feet that way. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have happened. Yeah, and the other guy's a patsy. I've told you that, man, over and over and over. The guy that they arrest, the guy that they actually accuse of, is the fucking Lee Harvey Oswald of today. Okay? He's the Lee Harvey Oswald of today, mate. He's just a scapegoat. Find the video of the guy that does the planes. Find that guy. Find the guy that talks about the planes and the plane schedules. You know, if that's what you want to find out about, that's what you need to study, boys. You need that video. You need to watch that video where the guy is telling you about the plane. He's telling you what the fuck is he. That's what he does all day long. He just watches planes. People fucking like shit, okay? You know, they're pretty unusual, some people, right? And his thing was planes, and he wondered why this plane was sitting there, was owned by these 2 millionaires. He tied them back to APAC. He tied them back to the Knesset as members of Knesset, whatever the fuck that is. He tied it all the way back to them. And then the plane took off straight away. No contact with the tower. No preliminary things like they normally do with other planes taking off. Yeah, they didn't do that with this plane. This plane took off, viewer, and then 15 minutes when it's in the air, they turned off the transponder. That is illegal. It's illegal, okay, because they don't know where the plane is. It could have an accident with another plane hitting in the air. So that's why they've got the transponder on, so they can work out exactly where the fucking planes are. And this particular plane, this privately owned plane, turned off the transponder. And and then 2 or 3 hours later, whatever that time period is the guy was talking about, it comes back on again. When it enters Utah, you can see right here, viewer, that the transponder gets turned back on again. So it's a completely illegal thing that they have done. Completely illegal, against aviation fucking law. Okay? But here we are, 2 or 3 hours later, and here's the plane back again, on the ground, with the, back again where it's in its original airport. So I reckon, putting one and one together, I reckon the guy done the hit, the professional done the hit, in amongst all of the, everybody running and everybody fucking off. He's gotten away. He's got down to the airport, mate, which is only 15 minutes away from the actual college, with a plane waiting in the background, mate, with the door open. And as soon as he enters the plane takes off. Its plane takes off. Pre-arranged thing, man. It's pre-arranged, pre-done. So they're expecting him on that plane. They're expecting him to turn up. Okay? And then 3 hours later, the transponder gets turned back on again. And nobody asks any questions, mate. These people are not questioned, they're not queried, they're not asked where the plane went, why did the plane get turned off, why was the transponder turned off. Maybe it'll come out in the future, in the next few days. Maybe that will come out. But so far, you've got these things that you put together, one and one together, and it's pretty easy to work out that this was a professional hit. Mossad pulled this off, man. This is a professional Mossad hit. It really is. Professional. They couldn't control him anymore. They couldn't control what he was saying. They couldn't get him over on holiday. He refused to any meetings with them. The last meeting he had was Trump and Bibi together at the White House. And Kirk stated in his fucking live stream that Trump is no longer in control of the White House. He's no longer in control. You know, he sat there silent, and Bibi did all the talking for him. Bibi did. And Bibi was telling Kirk what he needs to do and what he needs to talk about and what he needs to control himself, you know, because they don't want him talking about the things that he was talking about. And that's why Charlie never went back. He never went back to the White House. He never went to Israel on holiday. He refused all of their meetings. He refused it. He refused to meet up with them because he knows that the fucking Zionist is in control. He knows it. The American government is not the American government. It's the Israel government. You know, it's run by proxy from Israel. It's run by Bibi. Bibi is the real president of America. Bibi is. Okay? So that power, mate, all of that power and control, man, was on the line. It was going to be fucking extinguished, man, taken away from them. Just him talking about the planes. If you go to my TikTok, I think I've got it in my history. I think I reposted it. I'm pretty sure I reposted it. I don't know how you find reposted videos, but it's on my TikTok, lorddobby 2020. I think that's what the name of it is. It's just political. And I shared the video on there. I reposted the video. And the guy broke it down. He broke down the plane waiting. He broke down how long it had been sitting at the airport. He said the door to the plane is actually open. He said, this doesn't happen. It's not normal that a privately owned jet plane has its door waiting, you know, sitting there open, waiting for the passenger to arrive. And then as soon as the passenger arrived, they took off. No preliminary call to the tower. No, we're going to take off things or anything like that. They just fucking left, mate. And when they left, they turned off the transponder so that you couldn't find out where the plane went. They didn't want anybody to know the destination of that plane. And it only appeared several hours later when the transponder was turned on when the plane was being landed back in Utah. That's where it's originally from, Utah. And it was turned off the entire time. So they don't know where the passenger went, who the passenger was, where he was dropped off to. You know, like, mate, come on. There is just too many loose ends here that they didn't think about. They thought they could pull off the fucking, you know, the Lee Harvey Oswald of 2025, and everybody would be so grief-stricken that they don't look at any details. They just believe, okay? You know, anybody that just wants to believe Bibi, he fucking deserves a brain aneurysm, okay? That guy is worse than your ex-wife, all right? So that was my main stream tonight. That was my main thing for streaming today. The Charlie Kirk thing, mate. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away, and it's not going to work out the way they thought it would work out. It is going to backfire immensely. Backfire on all of these people. You know, you've got people out there in positions of power that are praising it. Praising the assassination, mate. You know, celebrating it. Yeah? You know, even TMZ, mate. Is that what it's called? TMZ or something like that? Mate, those fucking rats, mate. As soon as it was announced that Charlie was assassinated, they cheered. They cheered. And then they had to come out with an apology video saying, oh no, we were watching this video about car chase. So the guy that makes the video put the car chase on. He says, this is the car chase they were watching live. Is there anything on here that you would laugh at? Is there anything on here that you would cheer at? You know? No, they didn't, mate. They cheered it. They cheered the assassination. TMZ did. They cheered it. Okay? While they're at the front, the two of them are out there doing their talkie-talkie. In the background, all the other producers and sound people were cheering it on. They were happy that it happened. Okay? Like, it's such a weird... America is fucking weird, man. It's weird. It's the only place I know where they celebrate someone being assassinated for their opinion. Their opinion. You know, not their... You got people out there, mate, that are robbing, stealing, lying, cheating, selling fucking, you know, fucking tobacco, fucking selling drugs, rah-rah.
Yeah, when they get it, they don't get assassinated, bro. You get assassinated for your opinion and your fucking following. If the people follow you and they listen to you, okay? That's when you get assassinated, mate, big time, yeah? And that's what happened to Charlie, mate. It was a setup. It's sad, mate, when you realise it. When you put it all together and you stand back and you put the pictures together, it's very fucking... It's not good for America, mate. It's really not. They need to turn against Israel. They need to turn against that completely. Cut off all funding. They need to put Bibi on his own. Let his own people fucking deal with him, mate. Because he's not very much liked in his own country, mate, by the opposition. There's a lot of people that don't like him, mate. It's only his own people, Bibi thinks his success is taking over land. If he can create the greater Israel, he's going to be the hero, yeah? Now they've got carte blanche, mate. They've got carte blanche. America will never say no. There's never a no from America, yeah? These are people that will fly into another country that's 6 or 7 hours away on a plane and kill the entire parliament of that country. They then flew into Yemen, mate, and they killed the entire staff of a of a media station. They bombed the media station, mate. They killed 320 media reporters. So there's no reporters in Yemen to report what's going on over there. So now they can bomb the fuck out of Yemen and kill all civilians, anything they want, because they regard them as Hezbollah. Well, they're not civilian, they're Hezbollah. The same as the people in Palestine are all Hamas. So now they're going to bomb the shit out of those countries and kill all of them people and take over that land. They'll go over any land that has no way of protecting itself, no way of firing back, so to speak. But they won't go after Iran. They won't go after the Arab states that can actually protect themselves. And these Arab states better wake up to themselves, man, because Israel is not your friend. And Israel will gladly bomb the fuck out of everybody around it. Everybody. Everybody. None of these Saudi governments, none of these Islamic governments or any of the countries that are around Israel are safe. None of them are safe. None of them at all. Because Israel will launch attacks on your government and kill the entire government. All right? And if you don't think a fucking, a speaker in America is a problem, mate, that's like Sunday lunch to a Zionist. That's like easy pickings, mate. Compared to blowing a building up with fucking 360 people inside. They don't even blink over that. You think they're going to blink over fucking Kirk? No, not at all. You've got some fucking little Jewish guy out there fucking right now, mate, getting fucking praised, getting fucking paid. That's not a cheap thing to pull off, mate. That would have cost quite a lot of money for that sharpshooter, for that professional to do the job, yeah? A high-powered rifle, mate, with a high-powered bullet. So they wanted that one shot. That one shot, mate. They didn't need multiple angles like AFK. They didn't need to, have heaps of shooters, mate. They only needed one. They needed one that's in the right position, and Charlie's in the right position, sitting at the right space, sitting in that right 5 foot area, because anywhere backwards 5 feet wouldn't have worked. Forward 5 feet would have been too close to the crowd. Yeah? It's got to be in that exact position where he was sitting, exact the position where that table was placed in order for him to sit behind it. What's sad is that his wife and children were in the front row. His wife and children watched it. So, very sad, mate, that his wife and children had to look at that. Yeah? I reckon we're going to find out a lot more over the coming weeks, because there's a lot of people that are not going to just accept the government storyline. They're just not. And it's it's too unbelievable now. Like, people are not fucking stupid, mate. Okay, and they've got the internet. They've got all of these videos in 4K. They've got all of these people that are internet sleuths pulling apart every second of that video of that assassination. They've got sleuths that are pulling apart those two men standing in the background, giving out hand signals. You can't deny that's what they were doing. You can't say, oh no, he's just scratching the side of his head. Oh, that guy's arm is just a bit tired, so he's got to lift it that particular way with those gestures. Like, fuck, mate. One of the gestures from the guy with the cap was sniper ready. That's what that gesture means. And then the big guy looked at him and realised what he had done, and then he stepped forward. He made a step forward and then put the one-arm gesture out with the two. He used his other hand and tapped it twice. Wherever he touched his arm is supposed to be where it's best, and which was the head. Okay? So it's completely planned. I am just gutted for these two men. Like, they're Americans and they're standing behind a fellow American planning his assassination like it's normal. It's Sunday afternoon roast. Completely normal to plan that. We got some sick-ass fucking individuals, mate, in our government. The sickest fucking satanic pedophile fucking people you could ever imagine have power. There's nothing that they won't do to hold that power. Nothing they won't do to increase that power. Charlie represented power. He represented people. He represented the people watching him, listening to him, turning up to his meetings by the thousands. That support. That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of that, turning against them. Because that's what Charlie was doing. He was turning against the Israel and turning against Trump. Because he regarded Trump after that meeting in the White House as a weak fucking president. Just weak. Not a real president at all. Apparently in their meeting with Bibi, Mr. Trump there, fucking Orange Man, sat silent. Orange Man had nothing to say. Bibi done all the talking for Trumpy. Bibi laid down the laws and said that you're not allowed to talk about this and we don't want you talking about that and you're affecting us. And, Bibi's the one that tried to fucking sway him to come to Israel on a holiday. Come to Israel on a holiday. Mate, why would you want to go anywhere with fucking Bibi, mate? Like, fuck, man, you would need a fucking 24-hour stream running, bro. Fucking 24-hour stream running. Because your ass ain't leaving fucking Israel. You're going to be having an accident. There's a little accident happening. You fell off a cliff or fucking some cunt. Someone was against you and they shot you in Israel. It's not us. It's not us. Hamas did it. Hamas did it, right? You can hear it already, mate. They would just blame Hamas. Hamas did it. Hamas did it. Hamas. No, I think Mossad did it. Mossad. Yeah. Mossad have got their hands written all over it, buddy. It's Mossad all the way. All the way. Right up to the shooter, right up to the plane where he got off, when he got on the plane and got his exit, so he was able to get out of there. All run by Mossad, mate. All part of the Knesset. All goes back to Israel government. It all goes back to their funding. No, mate, no. It definitely goes back to him. And that is why he's doing his best to deflect Bibi right now. Oh, he's doing his best, mate. He's coming out with the condolences of the family. And he's coming out. Mate, why would Bibi give a fuck about Charlie Kirk, mate? Okay? Because of his power. Of the power that he represents, the people that watch him. Bibi's got to be seen as the saviour, the hero. So he comes in like Trumpy does, mate, 3:02 p.m, both at the exact same time. The exact same time they tweeted condolences to Kirk family. No, man, it's too they're making it too obvious. At the same time, trying to deflect. But people that, look between the lines can easily, we look at it and go, you're fucking, mate, you're fucked. This government is fucked. Every government is the same. They would gladly execute their own, mate, in order to keep the paradigm running, their storyline running, how much of a victim they are, and that it's your fault that I've got to kill your children. They've got to keep that f***ing, bro. Their propaganda war, mate, on their justification of killing hundreds of thousands of people must continue. Okay, because they've got a lot more countries to invade. In case you haven't realised that, yeah, Palestine's just the start. It's just the start. If I was an Arab country, mate, I would be very fucking worried. Like more worried than I've ever been ever before. Because we've never had a president that just carte blanched everything. Green light. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. America will agree with you. And not only that, it will pay for it. It will supply the guns, the arms, and it will supply the money to do it. Never in history have they had a president like Trump that agrees so much, Mr. Bibi, the emperor. You can call him emperor because that's what he is. When Charlie Kirk went to that White House meeting, mate, Trumpy was quiet. Trumpy didn't say anything. Bibi, the emperor, said everything and did laid down the laws to Charlie on what he should and shouldn't talk about. Charlie had fucking messages from his sponsors because remember, he was a supporter before. So he had supporter money. He had donors, mate, that would give him money. The same as you cheap cunts. Sometimes you send me $5 in fucking PayPal. A lot of the time you fucking don't. And you sit there watching me for hours and fucking hours every day for free. You don't even watch a fucking ad. You don't even watch an ad. God forbid you'd send me a fucking chocolate milk every now and again. So you see, Charlie's answerable, mate. He felt answerable to his sponsors that have been giving him, thousands and millions of dollars. So they were all calling him saying, we don't like what you're talking about. We didn't give you money in order for you to go against Israel. You see? So he had all of that pressure, mate. He had a lot of pressure that he was just talking about the wrong things. And that made Charlie pissed off even more. Oh, it made him pissed off even more. Who in the fuck do you think you are telling me what to do in my country? Free speech and all of that. No, Charlie's a proponent of all of that. You can say whatever opinion you like. He's not gonna get a fucking gun and shoot you for it, is he? But you will. You will. If he says something wrong, you will. And then you'll stand cheering it on. You'll stand cheering it on. So no, mate, that's what happened. No, I don't have X or Twitter. No, I don't have them. I know I don't have that. I've never actually even been onto Twitter yet, or onto X. I've never been on there either. So there's a lot of videos and information out there, boys. That's probably on X and Twitter. Mate, you wouldn't even make it in the spare room with Bibi. You'd be in the garage straight away, mate. You're not going to make it in the you're not going to get to the spare room, mate. Okay? He's a Zionist, not a communist. A communist will put you in the garage for a little while, or in the spare room for a little while. Fucking Zionist put you straight out to the garage, You're not fucking agreeing with me, and it's your fault that I've got to put you in the garage. It's your fault. Look what you're making me do. It's your fault that I put you into the garage. That would be a Zionist fucking outlook, okay? A communist outlook just puts you in the garage and just blames you for fucking everything and then tells you how unsafe they are. They're very unsafe when it gets to 7 o'clock at night. At 7 o'clock at night, I've got to lock the back door. I'm feeling very unsafe. You might grape me when I'm in my room. You'll grape me. This is what I was said. I thought to myself, I don't even fucking shag you now, love. Why in the fuck would I want to shag you with fucking violence? I don't want to fuck you now. I don't want to fucking sleep with you. So why would I grape you? Ugh. What the fuck for? But this is what they will accuse you of. They'll accuse you of grape. And they're only safe at 8 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I can unlock the door and I feel safe, you know, because grapist only comes out at night time. It only comes out between the hours of 7:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning. That's the only time you can get graped. The rest of the time, you're safe. He's not going to grape you. Like, that makes sense. You see, that's women's logic. That's women's logic to you. Yeah? And that's only done just to get power off you, mate, just to make you do what they want you to do. And the minute that you say you don't want to do that, well, you know, and you argue about it, well, that's abuse. You're abusing me. You're abusing me, you see, because you're not agreeing with what I want and you're disagreeing with me. So it's not a disagreement, it's abuse. You know, you're abusing me. And you go, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? You know, yeah, you're disagreeing with me. You know, that's abuse. You know, like in Victoria, I didn't realise this before my court case, but in Victoria, the word no is abuse. If you say the word no, N-O, to a woman in Victoria, that's regarded as abuse. Yeah, you're not allowed to tell your wife or girlfriend, don't do this or don't do that. You're not allowed. That's abuse. How dare you? That's abuse. Okay? Now, the same person will gladly tell you what the fuck to do, mate. That same fucking woman that's complaining to you, yeah, she's happy to dictate to you where you should even put your shoes off at the front door. She'll dictate to you how to fucking, you know, you've got to do the dishes, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. You know, like does not have the same rules that you do. Okay? Because she's a woman. And the minute that she says anything, that's empowering. I'm empowered. Whereas if you say anything because you're a man, it's regarded as abuse. Anything you say can be regarded as abuse. Anything. Okay? So they're creating a generation of simpy men that cannot have an opinion of their own, cannot share their opinion that disagrees with the woman, because the woman is the mighty queen. And what she says and what she thinks and feels, well, that's fucking law. You know, you need to obey her. You know, go and do the men's behaviour course, mate. Go and do the men's behaviour course and your entire opinion about women will... Your entire fucking outlook on them, your entire thoughts on them, mate, will change, mate, with the men's behaviour course. Because in that particular course, you will realise that you are fucking nothing in today's society. As a man, you're nothing. You are fucking nothing. You're there to keep quiet, pay the bills, don't disagree with her, don't have an opinion that doesn't match her. You've got to have the same opinion. If you have a different of opinion, that's abuse. You're abusing her because you're not agreeing with her. So you're abusing her. You see how they turn it around? Yeah? And that's how they word it, mate. That's why I was called abusing so much. Because I'm not letting this woman talk to me the way she talks to me, treat me the way she does, and think that it's acceptable. You know, think that it's normal, you know, for you to fucking do that, you know. And for them it is, mate. Go and do the men's behaviour course. And you will understand why the government and the courts think the way they do. Because you are a lesser citizen and a lesser human than what she is. It's like living under Sharia law, but reversed. Reversed. Okay? Where the woman has all of the laws on her side. And the man has to prove himself all the time. A man's word means nothing in family law court. I need witnesses, I need statements, I need videos to back up what I'm saying. Okay? They do not need anything. All they need is accusations. They don't need proof. They just need more accusations and fancy stories. You know, he whipped his daughter so badly that she couldn't walk. She had wobbly legs. Look what he did to her. You know, he whipped her so badly. That's what he did. And this woman believes it. She believed her.
There's no proof. There's no report. There's no paperwork. It never fucking happened. You're talking about a 5-year-old child. I'm her father. I would never lay a hand on a 5-year-old child. Like, it's just not going to happen. I wouldn't even accept when Qian was chastising her, when she was actually laying down the punishment, mate. You know, her punishment is putting the child into a room and closing the door. Like, I'll show you, man. Like, the child's in trouble, you know, for the most meaningless fucking, you know, oh, you didn't pick up your stuff in the living room, you know, and she starts going crazy about all the shit that, you know, the child's toys in the living room. So the next thing you know, she'll throw the child into the room, slam the door closed like that and hold the door closed. And Echo is on the other side, let me out, crying, let me out, let me out, let me out. That's Echo on the door on the other side like that. And Qian's standing there holding the door like that and refuse to let the child out until I'm coming along and say, don't do that to my daughter, okay? Don't lock my daughter in a room, okay? You know, I don't like hearing her yelling and screaming like that for toys on the floor. You know, I'm her father, Qian. I'm her fucking father. And it's my fucking job to pick up that shit. It is not a 4-year-old child's job. Okay? It is my pleasure to pick up and clean up after my daughter. Why are you even home? You know, you're home an hour early. Why are you home? So you come home an hour early and then you want to sit there bitching and complaining and yelling and screaming and abusing me about stuff that's on the floor because you need it clean when you come home, because you're a fucking queen. And the minute you walk in the door, it's all got to be spotless. Everything has to be perfectly clean for you. But you don't do any cleaning. You don't pick up a fucking thing. You don't vacuum a floor. You don't mop a floor. You don't clean a fucking dish. But you'll sit there complaining and moaning and complaining and abusing and wanting to get a reaction out of me. You want a reaction out of me. So no, mate, I never laid a hand on my daughter, ever. Not fucking once. You know, I was talking to my sister the other day and I told her about that. And she says, you don't remember, huh? I said, huh? She says, when I came to visit you from California, you know, your daughter got into the makeup purse. She got into a makeup purse or something like that. And I seen her hit the child. I seen her hit her, Chad. And you are the one that went into the room and said, don't hit my daughter. Don't ever do that again. She said, I'm a witness to that. I witnessed that on my own. I witnessed that happening. I witnessed her hitting the child. I witnessed you walking in and taking the child away from her and taking the child out the back. I was a witness to that. She said, so don't tell me that, you know, it's impossible of what you're saying happened. You know? I'd forgotten about it. I'd totally forgotten about it until she told me. She said, I'm a witness to that. I seen that happen. Okay? I seen her hit the child because she was in the makeup box and she was getting a spanking for it, and you went in there and took the child off her. Okay? And you took the child out the back. We went out the back. Okay? She said, you don't remember? I don't remember, sister. She said, well, that's what that happened. That happened. That happened in front of me. I'm a witness to that. So, yeah, I couldn't even use the toilet. Fuck, mate. I took a shit. I took shits after 7 o'clock at night out in the backyard. If I wanted to go to the toilet, I got a shit in the backyard. The door is locked and this person refuses to unlock it. Refused the entire time to give me a key to my own home. The key that I had never worked. And whenever I would say to her, hey, this key doesn't work, it's just something wrong, she would give me another key. And that key wouldn't work. I never had a key that I could open up my own house. Like she took the keys from me. And then the key that she gave back doesn't work. When I came back from China, those 2 times, when I came back from China, both times the key didn't work. I couldn't get in the house. I had to break into the house with the neighbour's help. The neighbour came over with all the tools to get into the back door without breaking the back door. Yeah? So I never even had a key to the joint, mate. If I wanted to go to the toilet during the night, I've got to go out to the backyard. If I wanted to have a shower because I was making masks all night and I was filthy fucking dirty, mate, from paints and everything else, I couldn't have a shower. I couldn't go in and have a shower. And that's how I lived for, what, 2 years? 2 years that person put me in there. You know, I feel unsafe. You're going to grate me. You know, you're not paying enough in rent now, so you need to leave. If you don't pay, you don't stay. I love that saying. You know, she created that saying, boys. She fucking created it, bro. She created it, and I fucking relive it every day. You don't pay, you don't stay. You're not paying the mortgage anymore, so you can no longer stay here. You know, you can stay in the garage because you can see Echo every day and you can mind Echo and you can clean the house, and that can be how you can pay for your rent. You know, because I'm not paying your mortgage anymore. I'm not paying your mortgage. You fucking stand there telling me how it's your house, your house, your house, your house, your house, until it's time to pay the mortgage. And on that particular day, it becomes my house. And then as soon as I paid the mortgage, it goes back to being your house again. And that's how you had it set up. All right? That is exactly what you did. Full on, bro. Yeah, it was not very comfortable in the garage, mate. It was not a comfortable existence. It was not a nice existence. There was no love there, mate. Yeah, ABC, yeah. I was a fool. I was an absolute fucking fool, mate. You got no idea how much of a fucking idiot I felt the minute I walked out of the real estate office. The minute that I walked out, I realised how much of a mistake that I have fucking made today. Like the pretending I love you and the pretending that I got 15 minutes ago, that we're always going to be together and I'm always going to love you and it's our house always. It's always going to be our house. But just for safety and just for Echo's future, you know, put it into my name so that way it's always safe, you know. She kept on telling me your ex-wife can make a claim against the property, you know. In the future, she might be able to make a claim. So put it all in my name and we won't have to worry about it. You know, don't you trust me? You know, don't you love me? You know, I love you. We'll always be together. We'll never break up. We'll never divorce. Those fucking exact words, mate. Those exact fucking words, man. They like live in my brain for free. Okay? They live in my brain for free. And I was a fool. I was a fool for trusting her. A total fucking fool. An absolute schmuck. The highest order fucking idiot. Here I am. Here I fucking am right here, bro. For trusting the words of a fucking woman. For trusting in the woman. Now, lies and deception, mate. Lies and lies and lies. So don't believe them, man. Don't believe them, bro. When a woman says she loves you, all right, put on the end of it, for now. When a woman says, I'm always going to be with you, I'm always going to love you, put in your mind, for now. For now, you will love me. For now, you will be loyal to me. For now, you will fucking stay with me. That's not forever. That's for now. Okay? Until her feelings change or she can find a reason to get rid of you. Because now the house is in her name, land is in her name. She doesn't fucking need you no more. She is just upgraded fucking 700 grand in value. Yeah? That's what they do, Spark. Now, when that happens to you, and then that happens to you, you're basically a dead man walking on the property. You see, now you have no value to her. Now you have nothing that she can take from you. Okay? Now she's got to get you off the property. She's got to get you to voluntarily leave. Okay? Get in your car and drive away. At the same time, you've got to be heartbroken. Oh, they want you heartbroken over them. They want you crying and upset. And, why did she break up with me? And why does she want to divorce me? That's what they want. They want you to be fucking like sitting in your car crying your eyes out over them while they sit there in their fucking housemate congratulating themselves with a big smile, tippy-tappying the next fucking guy. Lining up the next fucking guy, mate. Like incredible, man. And they have no thing about it. It's your fault. It's your fault that I had to do this. You didn't make me happy, so I had to get rid of you. You didn't do the things that I wanted you to do. I had to get rid of you. It's your fault. It's your fault. Yeah? It's your fault that I had to put you into the spare room. I was worried about your comfort. It's your fault that you had to go into the spare room. It's your fault that I don't come anywhere near you. I don't talk to you. I don't acknowledge you when you come home from work. I never cook for you. I never clean for you. I never even make you a fucking coffee. It's your fault. Okay? Yeah? Yeah, true colors, yeah. Like the real, like you had, like you knew beforehand, like you were still treated in the spare room, you were still ignored, you still never got any poo-tang pie, you never got fucking anything like that, ever, mate. This person never even kissed me. Not a single fucking time, mate, did this person kiss me. She never even hugged me. She never gave me a hug, mate. It's not like it's not like we took a shower together. Yeah? There's none of that. Fucking none, mate. You could never see the person with no clothes on, ever. Your own thing, right? This is the person that loves you, right? Mate. You don't even get to fucking see it. You're not even allowed in the bathroom when she's in the bathroom, mate. It's World War fucking III, She yells and screams because she doesn't want you seeing, because you might get attracted to her. You see? You might get attracted and she doesn't want you. She's talking to someone already on the internet that's a multi-millionaire and fucking everything else, right? Right? So she doesn't want you. She's got everything from you. She needs you to go. Okay? I had her fucking mother, right? Her mother turned on me right at the end there because she had no choice. She had no choice. It's my daughter. There's nothing I can do about it. But the rest of the time, she was sneaking food out to me. She's being really nice to me, the mum, right? The mum at the end, mate, said to me, look, why don't you go and live in your car? Go and live in your car, okay, maybe 1 or 2 months, and then you come back, and then maybe she'll love you. That came out of her mum's fucking mouth, mate. Go and sleep in the car for a couple of months, and maybe she will love you. No, mate, she wants you off the property. Okay, sorry, man. I'm trying to keep the power in my phone, and it's not fucking going in my phone. Right? You need to learn from these lessons, boys. You need to learn, mate. Right? If you learn, you'll be okay. You'll be able to save yourself from fucking pain, and save yourself from misery, and save yourself from a bullshit fucking existence that's in a fake fucking relationship. It's a fake fucking thing, man. The whole thing's fake. It's 100% fake, and it's a matter of time. And you need to see past their games. You need to see past their promises and their words, yeah? And not hold faith in their words, mate. Don't believe them. Just fucking don't believe them, man. Because they do the exact opposite. They're a Bibi Netanyahu, mate. They organise the peace treaty. They get everybody to the table. They have a big smile on their face. And then meanwhile, they're going to bomb the fuck out of you. Absolutely just kill everybody, including your family. Fucking destroy everybody. And they'll stand there with a smile on their face. And they'll go, it's not our fault. You were part of Hezbollah. You were part of Hezbollah, so we're allowed to do that. It's your fault because you were here trying to get a peace deal on their behalf. So you're part of them. They blame you for them bombing you and killing you. She'll blame you for fucking getting kicked out of the house and getting for your life the way it was. It's your fault. It's not their fault. It's not their fault of how they treat you or talk to you or how they fucking take their what is it, the love away from the relationship, the love part of it. What I don't know how to explain that part of it. The woman's love for you. When she's around you and you know that she loves you, and the way she talks to you and the way she treats you and talks to you, that's gone. It never existed, mate. So you've got none of that niceness. The niceness is gone and just fucking filled up with, a plan. A plan. And I honestly believe they got more and more pissed off. More and more pissed off because I just didn't give up. I didn't give up. I stayed right till the end. Right till fucking they have to escort me from my property. They have to escort me away. That's what it took. It took her months and months and months to build a case against you boys. And that's what they do. They build a case against you. They'll call the cops up for every fucking reason they can. Any reason at all, they will call the cops. Because it all goes on the computer. And the cop told me it only takes 6 visits and then they will automatically remove you from your home, gentlemen. 6 visits. And that's it. Automatically AVO remove you from the home. Okay? Automatic. She said, so the cop told me, he said, don't have us call out anymore at all from now on. He said, because the next 2 more visits, and he said, automatic removal. Automatic removal, Charles. 2 more visits. Okay? So so she went down there and complained again. Now she feels in fear, and I'm living in fear. Every time I go home, he's going to KILL me. He's going to abuse me. He's going to hurt me. He's going to hit me. The person hasn't got a mark on her, not a fucking scratch. But we'll sit there telling the copper how you're gonna hurt her. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. All this stuff, and that's all they have to do. That's it, gentlemen. They only have to go down and put a complaint in. That's it. They don't need proof. They don't need, the cop came down and done an interview and I'm sitting in the garage with my daughter. I don't know anything about what the fuck he's talking about. Another time they got called out, I'm abusing my daughter. I think 4 cops turned up to the house. And me and Echo, are in the backyard playing hide and seek. She's running around with the dogs, fucking happy. The cop says, what do you do? I said, playing hide and seek. He said, what were you doing 15 minutes ago? I said, before this, we were playing tag. Chasies? We were playing chasies before this. I said, why are you here? What's going on? He says, never mind. He says, we were told a whole different story, like he said, the child's fine. He said that, I can see the child's happy. He said, that's all that matters. So they left. There's no report on that one. But all it takes is them being called out. You see? Just call them out 6 times, and it's automatically they'll remove the male. Automatic. Okay? Automatic, ladies. All the power's in your hand. All the law's in your hand. And when the blue coat gets there, you just lie to them. Tell them the guy hit you. Tell them the guy was abusing you and nearly raped you and did all of it. And they will believe you. They will 100% believe you. It takes no evidence at all. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing. Nothing at all. He'll get arrested, taken down, given an AVO, given all the order, DV order, an AVO order. Mate, it doesn't take much, man, to get them. They're given out like lolly paper at the police station.
They're definitely giving out like lolly paper. Just walk in, complain, get yourself a DV order. It's that easy. Living in a car wasn't fun. Living in a car wasn't fun. I didn't know what to do after that. I wasn't on Centrelink. I didn't even know about Centrelink until COVID. I got in the line and I was on live stream online and with thousands of other people, hundreds of other people in the line standing there. I had no money. My sister helped me. Karen helped me. And my niece helped me. So full thanks to them for helping me at that time of my life. My stream helped me. Fast boy Craig helped me. Paid for a motel for me. There are certain streamers that helped me. But even back then when I got a hotel, mate, they would find out where I am. The cops would come around and, they want to search the house. They want to search the hotel room. Another time they told them that I had a GUN with a hostage. So they came to the hotel. So they were they were relentless, mate, these trolls. Relentless. But a lot of them believed. What they were being told. I'm this really bad guy, rah rah. She was in messages with them, mate. She doesn't know that I know. I've never talked about it, but I know you were talking to them. I know for a fact because those people would contact me. Okay, they would agree with you all the way up to a point, and then they would turn. And it would only take maybe a 20-minute phone call, 25, 30-minute phone call, listening to you, tell them that my daughter doesn't ever want to see their father again. Man, my daughter's 5 years old. In Australia, there is no man out there, nowhere, that you can look at and say that the child doesn't want to see them. None. No 5-year-old little child is going to look at the parent and go, I don't want to see my dad. None. And you've already trained up her. You've trained her up. You trained her up. And you tried telling these trolls, that's what you told them. That Echo doesn't want to see me or talk to me ever again. And that's when they turned. That's when you lost them. Because these are grown men you're telling that to. And these are fathers you're telling that to. Fathers. And you're telling one father that the child doesn't want to see their father? No. There's no Australian that will agree with you. None. No Australian man is going to sit there and agree with you that a 5-year-old doesn't want to see their father. It doesn't exist in this country. And that's where you lost them all. You lost all of your support. All of them. They didn't want to know you after that.